27. Was it 27, right? Yeah, 27. All right. In the beginning of the reign of Jehoiakim, son of Josiah, king of Judah, this word came to Jeremiah from Yah, saying, Thus said Yah to me, make yourself straps and bars, and put them on your neck. Send them to the king of Edom, to the king of Moab, to the king of the children of Ammon, to the king of Tyre, and to the king of Sidon, by the hand of the messengers who came to Jerusalem to Zedekiah, king of Judah. Instruct them with a message to their master, saying, Thus said Yah, master of legions, Elohim of Yasharal. Thus shall you say to your masters, I made the earth, with the man and the animal that are on the face of the earth, with my great strength and with my outstretched hand, and I gave it to whomever was fitting in my eyes. And now I have delivered all these lands into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylonia, my servant. I have even delivered the beasts of the field to him to serve him. All the nations will serve him and his son's son, until the time of reckoning of his land comes, as well as many nations and great kings will enslave him. And it shall be that the nation or the kingdom that does not serve him, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylonia, and does not put its neck into the yoke of the king of Babylonia, I will attend to that nation with the sword and with famine and with pestilence, the word of Yah, until I have annihilated them through Nebuchadnezzar's hand. You shall not listen to your prophets and to your magicians and to your dreamers and to your wizards and sorcerers who are telling you, do not serve the king of Babylonia, for they are prophesying falsehood to you in order to distance you far from your homeland. For I shall then disperse you and you will be lost. But any nation that puts its neck into the yoke of the king of Babylonia and serves him, I shall allow them to stay upon their land, the word of Yah, and they will work it and live there. And to Zedekiah, the king of Judah, I spoke the same word, saying, Put your necks into the yoke of the king of Babylonia and serve him and his people, so that you may live. Why should you and your people die by the sword, by famine, and by pestilence, as Yah spoke concerning the nation that will not serve the king of Babylonia? Do not listen to the words of the prophets who tell you, saying, Do not serve the king of Babylonia, for they are prophesying falsely to you. For I did not send them, the word of Yah, and they prophesy falsely in my name, in order that I should disperse you, so that you and your prophets who prophesy to you will be lost. And to the priests and to all the people I spoke, saying, Thus said Yah, do not listen to the words of your prophets who prophesy to you, saying, Behold, the articles of the temple of Yah are being returned to from Babylonia. Now, soon, for they are prophesying falsehood to you. Do not listen to them. Serve the king of Babylonia and live. Why should this city become destroyed? And if they are really prophets, and if the word of Yah is really with them, let them now beseech Yah, master of legions, that the articles which remain in the temple of Yah and in the palace of the king of Judah and in Jerusalem not be brought to Babylonia. For thus said Yah, master of legions, concerning the pillars and the sea and the stands, and the rest of the articles that remain in this city, that Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylonia, did not take when he exiled Jeconiah, son of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, from Jerusalem to Babylonia, along with all the noblemen of Judah and Jerusalem. Thus said Yah, master of legions, the Elohim of Yasharal, concerning the articles that remain in the temple of Yah and in the palace of the king of Judah and in Jerusalem. They will be brought to Babylonia, and they will be here until the day that I attend to them, the word of Yah, when I shall bring them up and return them to this place. Chapter 28. It happened in that year, in the beginning of the reign of Zedekiah, king of Judah, in the 4th year, in the 5th month, that Hananiah, son of Azur, the false prophet from Gibeon, said to me in the temple of Yah, before the eyes of the priests and all the people, saying, Thus said Yah, master of legions, Elohim of Yasharal, saying, I have broken the yoke of the king of Babylonia. In another 2 years I shall return to this place all the articles of the temple of Yah that Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylonia, took from this place and brought them to Babylonia. And I am returning Jeconiah, son of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, and all the exiles of Judah who have gone to Babylonia. I shall return to this place, the word of Yah, for I shall break the yoke of the king of Babylonia. Now that right there, I'm going to just bring this out real quick, Because you know how Haiju Buddha tries to say this is talking about the stuff taken from Ethiopia. It says here it will be returned in 2 years, but yet they've been waiting since 1868. Anyway, verse 5. Jeremiah the prophet then spoke to Hananiah the prophet before the eyes of the priests and before the eyes of all the people standing in the temple of Yahweh. Jeremiah the prophet said, Amen. May Yah do so. May Yah fulfill your words that you prophesied, to return the articles to the temple of Yah and the entire exile from Babylonia to this place. But hear now this statement that I am speaking in your ears and in the ears of all the people. The prophets who were before me and before you from ancient times used to prophesy about many lands and about great kingdoms, for war and for evil and for pestilence. When a prophet speaks of peace, it is only when the word of that prophet comes true that it is known that that prophet was indeed sent by Yah. Hananiah the prophet took the bar from upon the neck of Jeremiah the prophet and broke it. Hananiah then said before the eyes of all the people, Thus said Yah, this is how I will break off the yoke of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylonia, from the neck of all the nations in another 2 years. Jeremiah the prophet then went on his way. The word of Yah came to Jeremiah after Hananiah the prophet had broken off the bar from the neck of Jeremiah the prophet, saying, Go and say to Hananiah, Thus said Yah, you have broken wooden bars, but you will make metal bars in their place. For thus said Yah, Master of Legions, Elohim of Yasharal, I have placed an iron yoke upon the neck of all these nations, to serve Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylonia, and they shall serve him. Even the beasts of the field have I given him. And Jeremiah the prophet then said to Hananiah the prophet, Hear now, Hananiah, Yah did not send you, and you have reassured this people with a lie. Therefore thus said Yah, Behold, I am casting you off from the face of the earth. You shall die this year, for you have spoken a falsehood in the name of Yah. Hananiah the prophet died that year in the 7th month. Don't be playing, bro. Don't be saying his name if you ain't about what you talking about. Chapter 29. These are the words of the letter that Jeremiah the prophet sent from Jerusalem to the rest of the elders of the exile, to the Kohanim, the prophets, and to all the people from whom Nebuchadnezzar had exiled from Jerusalem to Babylonia, after King Jeconiah and the queen mother and the servants, the officers of Judah and Jerusalem, and the artisans and the gatekeepers left Jerusalem. He sent the letter by the hand of Elasah, son of Shaphan, and Gemariah, son of Hilkiah, whom Zedekiah, king of Judah, sent to Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylonia, to Babylonia, saying, Thus said Yah, Master of Legions, Elohim of Yasharal, to all of the exile whom I have exiled from Jerusalem to Babylonia, build houses and settle, plant gardens and eat their produce, take wives and beget sons and daughters, take wives for yourselves, for your sons, and give your daughters to men, and let them give birth to sons and daughters. Multiply there. Do not let your numbers diminish. Seek the peace of the city to which I have exiled you, and pray for it to Yah. For through its peace you will have peace. For thus said Yah, Master of Legions, Elohim of Yasharal, do not let your prophets who are in your midst and your magicians delude you. Do not listen to your dreamers whom you appoint to dream. For it is falsehood that they prophesy to you in my name. I did not send them. The word of Yah. For thus said Yah, after 70 years for Babylonia have been completed, I will attend to you, and I will fulfill for you my favorable promise to return you to this place. For I know the thoughts that I am thinking for you, the word of Yah, thoughts of peace and not evil, to give you a future and a hope. You will then call out to me and follow me. You will pray to me, and I will listen to you. You will seek me, and you will find me, if you search for me with all your hearts. I will make myself available to you, the word of Yah, and I will return your captivity, and I will gather you in from all the nations and from all the places where I've dispersed you, the word of Yah, and I will return you to the place from which I exiled you. If you will say, Yah has established prophets for us in Babylonia, rather, thus say Yah concerning the king who sits on the throne of David, and concerning all the people who dwell in this city, your brethren who did not go with you into exile. Thus said Yah, Master of Legions, behold, I am sending against them the sword, the famine, and the pestilence, and I shall make them like the detestable figs, which are so bad they are inedible. I shall chase after them with the sword. the famine and the pestilence, and I shall make them a horror for all the kingdoms of the earth, for a curse, for desolation, for a whistling, and for a shame among all the nations where I have dispersed them, because they did not listen to my words, the word of Yah, which I sent to them with my servants, the prophets, arising early and sending them, but you did not listen, the word of Yah. So you must listen to the word of Yah, the entire exile that I have sent out from Jerusalem to Babylonia. Thus said Yah, Master of Legions, Elohim Yasharal, concerning Ahab, son of Koliah, and Zedekiah, son of Maaseiah, who prophesy falsely to you in my name. Behold, I am delivering them into the hand of Nebuchadrezzar, king of Babylonia, and he will strike them down before your eyes. From them a curse will be derived by all the exile of Judah that is in Babylonia, saying, May Yah make you like Zedekiah and like Ahab, whom the king of Babylonia roasted in fire, because they committed an abomination in Yasharal. They committed adultery with the wives of their fellows, and they spoke false words in my name, which I did not command them. And I am the one who knows and bears witness, the word of Yah. Concerning Shemaiah, the Nehelamite, speak, saying, Thus said Yah, Master of Legions, Elohim Yasharal, saying, Since you sent letters in your name to all the people in Jerusalem, and to Zephaniah, son of Maaseiah, and to Kohen, and to all the other Kohanim, saying, Yah made you a Kohen in place of Jehoiada the Kohen, so that there will be officials in the temple of Yah, in charge of every man who is mad and who prophesies, to put them into prison or into the stocks. Why then have you not condemned Jeremiah of Anathoth, who prophesies to you on the grounds that he has sent messages to us in Babylonia, saying, It will be a long exile, build houses and settle, plant gardens and eat their produce. Zephaniah the Kohen read this letter in the ears of Jeremiah the prophet, and the word of Yah came to Jeremiah, saying, Send a message to the entire exile, saying, Thus said Yah concerning Shemaiah, the Nehelamite, because Shemaiah, why I spell it two different ways here? Because Shemaiah has prophesied to you, although I did not send him, and he reassured you falsely. Therefore, thus say Yah, Behold, I shall deal with Shemaiah the Nehelamite and with his descendants. He will not have a person from among his descendants dwelling in the midst of his people, and they will not see the goodness that I will be doing for my people, the word of Yah. For he spoke perversion about Yah. Mike, you want to take 30? I gotta get a drink. If anybody else want to read, Menelik, if you good, you can go.
Yeah, I'm gonna read. Wait, what verse are we on?
Chapter 30.
Jeremiah, right?
Con.
I, Jeremiah. Jeremiah 30 and 1. Jeremiah 30 and 1. Okay. This Jeremiah 30 and 1. This this is the word that came to Jeremiah from Yahweh. This is what Yahweh, Elohim is of Israel says, write in the book all the words I have spoken to you. The days are coming, declares Yahweh, when I bring my people Israel and Judah back from captivity and them to their restore them to their land I give their ancestors to possess. Say to Yahweh, those are the words Yahweh spoken considering Israel and Judah. This is what Yahweh said. Cries of fear are heard, terror, not peace, as a sea, as in sea. Can a man bear children? When why do you I mean why do you I why do I see every strong man with their hands on his stomach like a women in labor? Every face turns deadly pale. Awful. How awful that day will be. No other will be like it. It will be a time of Jacob's trouble. And but he will save he he will be saved out of it. In that day declares Yahweh Almighty, I will break the yoke off your necks and tear off your bands. No um no longer will foreigners enslave them. Instead, they will serve Yahweh their Elohim and David their king, whom I have risen, whom I will be raising, whom I will rise up from them. Verse 10. So do not be afraid, Jacob, my servant. Do not be dismayed, Israel, declares Yahweh. I will surely save you out of distant. Wait, I will surely save you out of the distant place. Your descendants from the land of your exile. Jacob will again have peace and security, and no one will make him afraid. I am with you, will save you, declares Yahweh. Through I completed this I completely destroyed all the nations among which I scattered you. I will not complete destroy you. I will discipline you, but only in due measure. I will not let you go entirely unpunished. Verse 12. This is what Yahweh says. Your wonders is terrible. Your injury binds healing. There is no one to plead your cause. No remedy for your swords. No remedy for your sword. So no healing for you. All you this one says aliens have for forgotten have forgotten you. They had they care nothing for you, nothing for you. I have strike you as an enemy would and punish you as with the carnal, because your guilt is so great and your sins so many. Why do you cry out over your wonder, your pain that has no care because of your great guilt and many sins? I have done those things to you, but all who devours you will be devoured. All your enemies will go into exile. Those who plunder you will be plundered. All who make spoil of you will be despoiled. Be but I will restore you to health and healing your wounds. I'm healing your wonders, declares Yahweh, because you are called an outcast, Zion, for whom no one cares. This is what Yahweh says: I will restore the foundation of Jacob's tents and have compassion on his dwellings. The city will be rebuilt on her ruins, and the place will stand in its prosper place, in its proper place. For for them will come for them will come songs of thanksgiving and the sounds of rejoicing. I will add to your numbers, and I will not be decreased. I will I will bring them on honor, and, and there will not be distraint. There will not be distraint. Their children will be as in the days of old, and their company will be established before me. I will punish all who oppose them. Their leaders will be one of their own. Their ruler will arise from among them. I will bring them near, and I will come clear. I'm gonna come close to me. For who is he who will devote himself to be close to me? Declares Yahweh. So you, so you will be my people, and I will be your Elohim. Verse 23. See, the storm of Yahweh will brush out in wrath, in driving wind, swirling down, swirling down on the heads of the wicked. The fury, anger of Yahweh will not turn back until he fully accomplish the proper, fully accomplish the purpose, propers of his heart. In the day to come, you will understand this. Shalom. Keep going. Keep going.
God.
Yeah, go ahead, my bad.
Or at that time declares Yahweh, I will be I will be Elohim all the families of Israel, and will be my people. This is what Yahweh says. The people who survive the sword will find favor in the wilderness. I will come to give rest to Israel. Yahweh appears to us in the haste sayings, I have loved you with an everlasting love. I have I have drawn you with unfailing kindness. I will build you up again, and you and you virgin Israel will be built again. You will take up your timbrel and go out to dance with the joyful. Again, you will plant vineyards on hill of samurai, hill of samurai. The
Maria.
farmers will plant them and enjoy their fruit. There will be a day when watchmen cry on the hills of Ephraim, can come, let us go up to Zion, to Yahweh, our Elohim. This is what Yahweh says. Sing with joy of Jacob. Shout for the foremost of the nations. Make your praise heard. Said Yahweh, save your people, the remnant of Israel. See, I will bring them from the land of the north and gather them from the ends of the earth. Among them will be the blind and the lame, expecting mothers and expecting mothers and women in labor. A great throng will return. They will come with weeping. They will pray as I bring them back. I will lead them back. I will lead them beside the streams of water on the level path where they will not stumble, because I am Israel's father and Ephraim is my first son. Hear the words of Yahweh, you nation. Proclaim in the distant coastlands. He who he who scattered Israel will um gather them and will watch over his flock like a shepherd. For Yahweh will deliver Jacob and redeem them from the hands of those stronger than they. They will come and shout for joy on the higher of Zion. They will rejoice in the abundantly of Yahweh, the grains, the new wine and new oil, new olive oil, the young of the flock and the herds. They will be like a well water garden, and they will shower no more. Then young women will dance and be glad. Um, young men and old as well. I will turn your mourning into gladness. I will give them comfort and joy instead of sorrow. I will satisfy the I will sat, satisfy the priests with abundance, and my people will be filled with my abundant. I mean, abundant. My people will be filled with my abundantly, declares Yahweh. This is what Yahweh said. The voice, a voice is heard in Ramash. Wait, Ramera, Ramera, Rameha. The morning, and good weeping, and Rasha, Rasha weeping from her children, and refusing to be comforted because they are no more. This is what Yahweh says: restrain your voice from weeping, and your eyes from tears. From your work will be rewarded, declares Yahweh. They they will return from the land of the enemy. So this is so there is hope for your descendants, declares Yahweh. Your children will return to your land. I will surely hear Ephraim's mourning. You you disciplined me like a unruling calf, and I have been disciplined. Restore me. I will return because you are Yahweh, my Elohim. After I stray, after I strayed, I repented. After I came to understand, I beat my breast. I will. I was ashamed. I was humiliated because I bore the disgrace of my yoke. Is not Ephraim my dear son? The children whom I delight through often I often speak against him. I should really I should remember I still remember him. Therefore my heart for him. Um I have I have great compassion for him, declares Yahweh. Set up the road signs, put up guard posts, take notes of the highways, the 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 ride, the road that you take. Even return, Virgin Israel, return to your towns. How long will you wander, unfaithful daughters Israel? Yahweh will Yahweh will create a new thing on earth. The women will return to the man. Verse 23, where this is what Yahweh Almighty, the Elohim of Israel says, when I bring them back from captivity, the people in the land of Judah and in its town will once again use its use those words, Yahweh bless you, and you prosperous land, you scared mountain, you will live there in Judah in all its towns, farmers and those who move about with their flock. I will refresh the worry and satisfy. I mean, in this, and the saint, the satisfy, and the faint. And verse 26. For at this I awake and look uh, around. My my sleep had been to me, pleased to me. The days are coming, declares Yahweh. Then I will plant the kingdoms of Israel and the kings of Judah will the offspring of the people and the of animals, just as I wonder just as I watch over them to uproot and tear down and to overthrow, destroy and bring disaster. So over I will watch over them to build and plant, declares Yahweh. In those days, people will no longer say, the parents have eaten sour grapes, and the children's teeth are set on edge. Um, Instead, everyone will die for their own sin. Whoever eats sour grapes, their teeth will be set on edge. The days are coming, declares Yahweh, when I will make a new covenant with the people of Israel and the people of Judah. It will not be like the covenant I made with your ancestors, but when I take them by the hand to lead them out of Egypt, because they have broken my covenant. Through I was a husband to them, declares Yahweh. This is the covenant I will make will the people of Israel, with the people of Israel, as that day, declares Yahweh, I will put my laws in their mind and write them on their heart. I will be their Elohim, and they will be my people. No longer will they teach their neighbor or say to one another, know Yahweh, because they will all know me, from the least to the great, declares Yahweh. For I will forgive their wickedness and will return their sins no more. There's what this is what Yahweh says. Um, He who appoints the sun to shine by day, who decrees who declares the moon and the stars to shine by night, who who um who stir up the sea so that the waves roar. For Yahweh Almighty is his name. Only if those decorations decrees vanish from my sake, declares Yahweh, will Israel enter cease being a nation before me? This is what Yahweh says. Only if the heavens come, only if the heavens above can be measured, and the foundations of the earth below be um foundation of the earth be searched out with searched out, will I reject all the descendants of Israel because of they have done what they um because of they have done, declares Yahweh. Verse 38. The day have come, and declares Yahweh, then this city will be rebuilt from me, for the Hanal, tower of Hanal to the corner gate. The the measure line will strengthen. Measure line will stretch. Measure line will stretch from uh, the stretch from their line. Stretch from their stretch straight to the hill of Gar Garab, and then turn go go for the whole valley where dead bodies and ashes are thrown, and the all the trace out to Kadon, the valley on the east, as far as the corner of the horse gate, will be holy to Yahweh. The the city will never again be rooted up or diminished. Shalom.
You can go a minute.
Where we at? 32, right?
Con.
Right. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me plug in my headphones real quick. So charge up. All right. The word that came to Jeremiah from Adonai in the 10th year of Zedekiah, Malak of Yahweh. That year was the 18th year of Nebuchadrezzar. At that time, the army of Malak of Babylonia was besieging Jerusalem, and JeremiYaH, the Nabiyah, was being detained in the courtyard of confinement that was at the palace of the Malak of Yahweh, where Zedekiah, Malak of Yahweh, had imprisoned him, saying, why do you prophesy, saying, thus saith Yah, behold, I am giving this city into the yard of the Malak of Babylonia, and he will capture it. And Zedekiah, Malak of Yahweh, would not escape the hand of the Chaldean, for he will certainly be delivered into the hand of the Malak of the Babylonians. And he will speak with him mouth to mouth, and see to him eye to eye, and he will lead Zedekiah off to Babylonia, and he will remain there until I attend him. The word of Yah. Even if you try to fight against the Chaldee, You will not succeed. JeremiYaH said, the word of Yah came to me, saying, Behold, Hanamel, the son of your uncle Shalom, is coming to you to say, Buy for yourself my field that is in Anathoth, for upon you is the law of redemption to buy it. My cousin Hanamah came to me according to the word of Yah to the courtyard of confinement, and he said to me, Please buy for yourself my field that is in Anathoth, that is in the territory of Benjamin. For yours is the Torah of inheritance, and yours is the Torah of redemption. Buy it for yourself. And I knew that it was the word of Yah. So I bought the field that was in Anathoth from Hanamah, my cousin. I weighed out the money for him, 7 shekels and 10 silver pieces. I wrote out the deed and sealed it. I designated witnesses. Then I weighed out the money on a scale. I took the bill of sale, the one that was sealed, according to the ordinances and the decrees and the unsealed bill. And I gave the bill of sale to Barak, Ban Neriah, Ban Mashiach, before the eyes of Hanamah, Ban of my uncle, and before the eyes of the witness who signed the bill of sale, and before the eyes of all the Jews who were sitting in the courtyard of confinement. I instructed Barak before their eyes, saying, Thus said Yah, Master of Legions, Alahayim of Israel, take these documents, this bill of sale, the sealed one and this unsealed document, and place them in an earthenware vessel, so that they will endure for many years. For thus saith Yah, Master of Legions, Alahayim of Israel, houses, fields, and vineyards will be bought in this land. Then I prayed to Yah after giving the bill of sale to Barak son of Neriah, saying, Alas, my Adonai, Yah Alahayim, behold, you made the Hashemayim and the Ha'arats with your great strength and an outstretched arm, and nothing can be hidden from you. You are the one who deals kindly with the thousands of generations, and repays the sin of parents into the bosom of their children after them. The great and mighty God. His name is Yah, Master of Legions. Great in counsel, mighty indeed. Your eyes are cognizant to the ways of mankind, to grant each man according to his ways and the consequences of his deeds. It is you who place signs and wonders in the land of Mitzrayim that are remembered until this day, and among Israel and other people. You made a reputation for yourself this very day. You took your people out of the land of Mizraim with signs and wonders. With a strong hand and an outstretched arm and with great awe, you gave them this land that you swore to their forefathers to give them, a land flowing with milk and honey. They came and possessed it, but they did not heed your voice and did not follow your teaching, your Torah. Shalom, Isaac. Everything that you commanded them to do, they did not do. You caused all this evil to befall them. Behold, the rams. They have come to the city to capture it, and the city has been delivered into the hand of the Chaldee who are attacking it, due to the sword, the famine, and the pestilence. What you declared has happened, and you see it. Yet you said to me, My Adonai, Yah Elohim, build a field for yourself with money and designate witnesses. Yet the city has been handed over to the Chaldee. Then the word of Yah came to the prophet JeremiYaH, saying, Behold, I am Adonai, Elohim of all flesh. Can anything be hidden from me? Therefore, thus said Yah, Behold, I am delivering this city into the hands of the Chaldee and into the hands of of Nebuchadrezzar, king of Babylonia, and he will capture it. And the Chaldee who are attacking the city will come and ignite the city with fire and burn it down, along with the houses upon whose roofs the people used to burn incense to Baal and pour libations to the Elohim of others, in order to anger me. For the children of Israel, the children of Yehudah, have been doing only what is wrong in my eyes since their youth. For the Benai Yasharah only angered me with their handiwork, the word of Yah. For this city has aroused my anger and my wrath in me from the day that they built it until this day, so that I shall remove it from my presence, because of all the evil of the Benai Yasharal and the Benai of Yahwadah, that they committed to anger me, they and their kings and their officers and their priests and their prophets, and the people of Yahwadah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem. To me they turned their back and not their face. And though I taught them, arising early and teaching, they do not listen to accept rebuke. They place their detestations into my temple upon which my name is proclaimed, to contaminate it, and they built high places of Baal that are in the valley of the Ban of Hinnom, at which they passed their sons and their daughters to the Moloch, or the Molech, which I never commanded them. nor did I ever contemplate performing this abomination in order to cause Yehuda to sin. And now, nevertheless, thus saith Yah, Elohim of Israel, concerning this city which you say is given over to the hand of the king of Babylonia, due to the sword, the famine, and the pestilence, behold, I shall gather them back from all the lands which I have dispersed them in my anger, in my wrath, and in great fury, and I shall return them to this place and cause them to dwell in security. They will be a people unto me, and I will be an Elohim unto them, and I will give them a single heart and a single path, to fear me all the days, so that it be well with them and their children after them. I will seal an everlasting covenant with them, that I shall never depart from them, to bestow goodness upon them, and I will place my fear in their hearts, so that they do not turn away from me. And I will rejoice over them to bestow goodness upon them. And I will plant them steadfastly in this land with all my heart and with all my soul. For thus said Yah, just as I brought upon all this people great evil, so will I bring upon them all goodness that I speak concerning them. And fields will be brought in this land, as you say, it is desolate, without man or beast, delivered into the hands of the Chaldee. They will buy fields with money and write it in a document and seal it and designate witnesses in the land of Benjamin, in the surroundings of Jerusalem, in the cities of Yehudah, in the cities of the mountain, in the cities of the lowland, in the cities of the south, for I will return their captivity, the word of Yah. The word of Yah came to JeremiYaH a second time while he was still being detained in the courtyard of confinement, saying, thus said Yah, its maker. Yah is fashioning it to establish it. Yah is his name. Call to me, and I will answer you, and I will tell you great and mighty things that you do not know. For thus said Yah, Elohim Yisrael, concerning the houses of the city, concerning the palaces of the kings of Yehudah, which are being shattered by the ramps and by the sword, because they are coming to fight the Chaldee and to fill their houses with human corpses, whom I have struck down in my anger and in my wrath, for I concealed my presence from the city because of all their wickedness. Behold, I am bringing it a remedy and a cure, and I shall heal them. I shall reveal to them an abundance of peace and truth. I shall return the captivity of Yahweh and the captivity of Israel. I will rebuild them at first. I will cleanse them of all their sins they committed against me, and I will forgive their iniquities that they committed against me, and that they transgressed before me. And this will be for me the sake of rejoicing, for praise, and for splendor before all the nations of the earth. And then that word right there is Wila Tifarat. Tiferet right there, for beauty and for Tiferet before all the nations. So for praise and for Tiferet before all the nations. Who will hear about all the goodness that I will be doing for them? And who will fear and tremble over the goodness and all the peace that I will do for it? Thus says Yah, there will again be heard in this place about which you say it is destroyed without man or without animal in the cities of Yahweh and in the streets of Jerusalem that are desolate without man and without inhabitant and without animal, the sound of joy and the sound of gladness, the sound of the groom and the sound of the bride, the sound of his people saying, praise Adonai, master of legions. For Adonai is good, for his mercy is forever. Bringing thanksgiving offerings to the temple of Adonai, for I will return the captivity of the land at first, said Yah. Thus says Yah, master of legions, there will yet be again in this place which is desolate without man or animal, and in all its cities a coat for the shepherds who rest their flocks, in the cities of the mountains, in the city of the lowlands, in the cities of the south, in the land of Benyamin, in the surroundings of Jerusalem, in the cities of Yahweh. The sheep will again pass before the hands of a counter, says Yah. Behold, days are coming, the word of Yah, when I will fulfill the favorable matter I spoke concerning the Bayat of Yasharal and the Bayat of Yahweh. For in those days and in that time I will cause the sprout of Zedekiah to sprout forth from the wad, and he will administer justice in Zedekiah in the land. In those days Yahweh will be saved, and Jerusalem will dwell in security. And this is what the people will call Jerusalem. Yahweh is our righteous one. And that is that is Yahweh Zedakinah. For thus says Yah, there shall not be cut off from the wad a man who sits upon the throne of the house of Israel. And for the Kahanim, the Levites, there will never be cut off a man from before me who offers elevation offerings and burn meal offerings and perform peace offerings all the day. The word of Yah came to JeremiYaH saying, thus said Yah, if you could have known my covenant, the day and my covenant with the night, so that day and night would not come into proper times, So too will my covenant be annulled with the Wab, my servant, so that he would not have a descendant reigning on his throne, or my covenant with the Levites, the Kohanim, my attendants. Just as the host of Hashemayim cannot be counted, nor the sand of the shore be measured, so will I multiply the seed of my servant Dawad and the Levites, my attendants. The word of Yah came to JeremiYaH, saying, surely you have observed what this people have spoken. The two families of Adonai had chosen and have rejected them, thereby causing my people to renounce being a nation before them anymore. Thus said Yah, if my covenant with the night and with the day would not be, had I not set up the Tharawah of the Hashemayim and the Ha'arats, so too would I reject the seed of Yaakov and my servant Dawad, selecting from his descendants rulers over the seed of Abraham, Ishak, and Yaakov. For I will return their captivity and I will show them mercy. The word that came to JeremiYaH from Adonai while Nebuchadrezzar, Malach of Babylonia, his entire army, and all the kingdoms of the land, under the rule of his hand of all the nations, were fighting against Jerusalem and all against the surrounding city, saying, thus said Yah, Elohim of Israel, go and speak to Zedekiah, Malach of Yahudiah, and say to him, thus said Yah, behold, I am delivering this city into the hand of the king of Babylonia, and he will burn it in fire. You will not escape from his hand, for you will certainly be captured, and you will be delivered into his hand. Your eyes will see the eyes of the king of Babylonia, and his mouth will speak to your mouth. And you shall come to Babylonia, but hear the word of Adonai Zedekiah, king of Judah. Thus saith Yah, concerning you, you will not die by the sword, you will die peacefully, like the burnings performed for your forefathers. The earlier kings who were before you, so they will burn for you, and they will lament for you, saying, woe, Adonai, for I have spoken this word, the word of Adonai. So JeremiYaH, the Nabiyah, spoke all these things to Zedekiah, Malach of Yahudiah, in Jerusalem, while the army of the king of Babylonia was besieging Jerusalem and all the remaining cities of Yehuda, Lachish and Azekah, for they remained in the fortified cities among the cities of Yehuda. The word that came to JeremiYaH from Adonai after King Zedekiah sealed the covenant with all the people who were in Jerusalem, to proclaim a freedom for them, that every man send forth his bondsman, his bondswoman, a Hebrew man or a Hebrew woman, a free man, so that none should enslave his fellow Jew. All the leaders and all the people who entered the covenant hearkened, that every man should send forth his bondsman and every man his bondswoman as free man, not to enslave them further. They hearkened and they sent them off, but they reneged after and they brought back bondsmen and the bondwomen who they set forth as free men, and subjugated them as bondswomen and bondswomen. The word of Yah then came to JeremiYaH from Adonai, saying, thus saith Adonai Elohim of Israel, I sealed the covenant with your forefathers on the day I took them out of the land of Mitzrayim from the house of slaves, saying, at the outset of the seventh year, each of you shall send forth his Hebrew brother who will have been sold to you. He shall serve you 6 years, and you shall send him forth free from yourself. But your forefathers did not hearken to me nor incline his ear. Today you repented and did what is just in my eyes, for every man to proclaim freedom for his fellow, and you sealed the covenant before me in the Hekal upon which my name is proclaimed. But then you reneged and desecrated my name, and every man brought back his bondsman, and every man brought bondswoman who you had sent forth to free on their own. And you subjugated them to be bondswomen, bondswomen to you. Therefore, thus saith Adonai, you did not hearken to me to proclaim freedom, every man for his brother and every man for his fellow. Behold, I proclaim you to be free, the word of Adonai. For the sword of the pestilence and for famine, I shall make you an object of horror for all the kingdoms of the Ha'arats. I shall deliver the people who violated my covenant, who did not uphold the words of the covenant that sealed before me through the calf. They cut in two and passed between its parts. The leaders of Yehuda and the leaders of Jerusalem. He passing it through those parts. That's the heart and the kidney. Again, all right. So the leaders of Yehuda and the leaders of Jerusalem, the officers of the Kahanim, and all the people of the Ha'arats who passed it through the parts of the calf. I shall deliver them into the hand of their enemies and into the hand of those who seek their soul. Their corpses shall be food for the bird of the Hashemayim and the Behemah of the Ha'arats. I shall deliver Zedekiah, Malach of Yahudiah, and his leaders into the hand of their enemies and into the hand of those who seek their Nafashah, into the hand of the army of the Malach of Babylonia who have retreated from you. Behold, I am commanding the word of Adonai. I shall return them to the city. They shall make war against it, conquer it, burn it with fire, and I shall make the cities of Yahudiah desolate without an inhabitant. Then the word that came to JeremiYaH from Adonai during the days of Jehoiakim, Josiah, Malak of Yahweh, saying, Go to the Bayate of the Rechabite and speak to them, bring them to the temple of Adonai, one of the chambers, and I will give them wine to drink. So I took Jaazaniah, Ban of JeremiYaH, Ban of Habazaniah, and his brothers and all his sons, and the entire house of the Rechabites, and I brought them to the Hakal of Adonai, to the chamber of the Bane Hanan, Bane Idalia, Adame Alahayim, which is next to the chambers of the officers, which is above the chamber of Mashiach Ban Shalom, the gatekeeper, before the members of the house of the Rechabites. I placed drinking bowls full of wine cups, and I said to them, Drink wine. But they said, We do not drink wine. For Yahweh Nadab, Ban Rechab, our ancestor commanded us, saying, You shall not drink wine, you or your descendants, Olam, forever. And a bayat you shall not build, and a seed you shall not sow, a vineyard you shall not plant, nor shall there be even any for you. Rather, live in your tents all your days, so that you may live many years upon the rocks which you sojourn. We heeded to the voice of Yahweh Nadab, son of Rahab, our ancestor, according to all that he commanded us, not to drink wine all our days. We, our wives, our bat, and our bond sons and daughters, and not to build houses or dwellings, and there would not be for us a vineyard, field, or seed. Rather, we live in tents. Hold on, give me 1 second. Hey, give it back. Hey, give it back. All right. Hey, somebody take over for me. I'm at verse 6.
Verse you at?
He's at verse 6 and what?
35.
Chapter 35, verse 6.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they said, We will drink no wine, for Jonabab, the son of Rechab, our father, commanded us, saying, Ye shall drink no wine, neither ye nor your sons forever. Here, your card on this way. Sorry, y'all. Verse 6. Not yet. It says, But they said, We will drink no wine. I read that. Verse 7, I'm sorry. Neither shall ye build houses, nor sow seed, nor plant vineyards, nor have any. But all your days ye shall dwell in tents, that ye may live many days in the land wherein ye be strangers. Thus have we obeyed the voice of Jonabab, the son of Rechab, our father, in all that he hath charged us, to drink no wine all our days, we, our wives, our sons, nor our daughters, nor to build houses for us to dwell in, neither have we vineyard, nor field, nor seed, but we have dwelt in tents, and have obeyed and done according to all that Jonabab our father commanded us. But it came to pass, when Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon came up into the land, that we said, Come and let us go to Jerusalem, for fear of the Assyrians. So we dwelled at Jerusalem, or I'm sorry, for fear of the army of the Chaldeans, and for fear of the army of the Syrians. So we dwelt at Jerusalem. Then came the word of the Lord unto Jeremiah, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, Go and tell the men of Judah and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, We will ye not receive instructions to hearken to my words, saith the Lord. The word of Jonabab the son of Rechab, that he commanded his sons not to drink wine, are performed. For unto this day they drink none, but obey their father's commandments. Notwithstanding, I have spoken unto you, rising early and speaking, but ye hearken not unto me. I have sent also unto you all my servants, the prophets, rising up early and sending them, saying, Return ye now, every man from his evil way, and amend your doing, and go not after other gods to serve them. And ye shall dwell in the land which I have given you and to your fathers. But ye have not inclined your ear, nor hearkened unto me, because the son of Jonabab, the son of Rechab, have performed the commandment of their father, which he commanded them. But this people have not hearkened unto me. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God of hosts, the God of Israel: Behold, I will bring upon Judah and upon all the inhabitants of Jerusalem all the evil that I have pronounced against them, because I have spoken unto them, but they have not heard, and I have called unto them, but they have not answered. And Jeremiah said unto the house of the Rechabites, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, because ye have obeyed the commandment of Jonadab your father, and kept all his precepts, and done according unto all that he hath commanded you. Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel: Jonadab the son of Rechab shall not want a man to stand before me forever. Chapter 36. And it came to pass in the 4th year of Joachim the son of Josiah, king of Judah, that this word came unto Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, Take thee a roll of a book, and write therein all the words that I have spoken unto thee against Israel, and against Judah, and against all the nations. For the day I spake unto thee from the days of Josiah, even unto this day. It may be that the house of Judah will hear all the evil which I propose to do unto them, that they may return every man from his evil way, that I may forgive their iniquity and their sin. Then Jeremiah called Baruch, the son of Nerah, and Baruch wrote from the mouth of Jeremiah all the words of the Lord, which he had spoken unto him upon a roll of a book. And Jeremiah commanded Baruch, saying, I am shut up, I can not go into the house of the Lord. Therefore go thou and read in the roll which thou hast written from my mouth the words of the Lord in the ears of the people in the Lord's house upon the fasting day. And also thou shalt read them in the ears of all Judah that come out of their cities. It may be they will present their supplications before the Lord, and will return every one from his evil way. For great is the anger and the fury that the Lord hath pronounced against this people. And Baruch the son of Nerah did according to all that Jeremiah the prophet commanded him, reading in the book the words of the Lord in the Lord's house. And it came to pass in the 5th year of Joachim the son of Josiah, king of Judah, in the 9th month, that they proclaimed a fast before the Lord, all the people in Jerusalem, and all the people that came from the cities of Judah unto Jerusalem. Then read Baruch in the book the words of Jeremiah in the house of the Lord, in the chamber of, what is this? Gemara, the son of Shaphan the scribe, in the higher court, at the entry of the new gate of the Lord's house, in the ears of all the people. When Micaiah, the son of Gemara, the son of Shaphan, had heard out of the book all the words of the Lord, then he went up. Then he went down into the king's house, into the scribe's chamber, and lo, all the princes sat there, even Elishama the scribe, and Gilead, the son of JeremiYaH, and Elnathan, the son of Akbar, and Gemara, the son of Shaphan, and Zedekiah, the son of Hananiah, and all the princes. Then Mahachiah declared unto them all the words that he had heard. When Baruch read the book in the ears of the people, therefore all the princes sent Jehudi, the son of Nathana, the son of Shalomai, the son of Cushi, unto Baruch, saying, take in thine hand the roll wherein thou hast read in the ear of the people, and come. And Baruch the son of Nerah took the roll in his hand and came unto them, and they said unto him, sit down now and read it in our ears. So Baruch read it in their ears. Verse 16. Now it came to pass, when they had heard all the words, they were afraid, both one and other, and said unto Baruch, we will surely tell the king all these words. And they asked Baruch, saying, tell us now, how didst thou write all these words at his mouth? Then Baruch answered him, he pronounced all these words unto me with his mouth, and I wrote them with ink in a book. Then said the princes unto Baruch, go hide thee, thou and Jeremiah, and let no man know where ye be. And they went into the king, into the court, but they laid up the roll in the chamber of Elishama, the scribe, and told all the words in the ear of the king. So the king went Jehudi to fetch the roll, and he took it out of Elishama, the scribe's chamber, and Jehudi read it in the ears of the king and in the ears of all the princes which stood before the king. Now the king sat in the winter house in the 9th month, and there was a fire on the hearth burning before him. And it came to pass that when Jehudi had read 3 or 4 leaves, he cut it with a pan knife and cast it into the fire that was on the hearth, until all the roll was consumed in the fire and was on the hearth. Yet they were not afraid, nor rent their garments, neither the king nor any of his servants that heard all these words. Nevertheless, El Elnathan and Dilabim and Gamariah had made intercession to the king that he would not burn the roll, but he would not hear them. But the king commanded Jer- Jeremiah, the son of Hamelech, and Syria, the son of Azriel, and Shemel, the son of Abidi, to take Baruch the scribe and Jeremiah the prophet, but the Lord hid them. Then the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah after the king had burned the roll and the words which Baruch wrote at the mouth of Jeremiah, saying, take thee again another roll and write in it all the former words that were in the first roll, which Jehoiakim the king of Judah had burnt. And thou shalt say to Jehoiakim king of Judah, thus saith the Lord, thou hast burned this roll, saying, why hast thou written therein, saying, the king of Babylon shall certainly come and destroy this land, and shall cause to cease from thence men and beasts. Wherefore, thus saith the Lord of Jehoiakim king of Judah, he shall have none to sit upon the throne of David, and dead body shall be cast out in the day of the heat, and in the night to the frost. And I will punish him and his seed and his servants for their iniquity. And I will bring upon them and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem and upon the men of Judah and all the evil that I have pronounced against them, but they hearken not. Then took Jeremiah again another roll and gave it to Baruch the scribe, the son of Neriah, who wrote therein from the mouth of Jeremiah all the words of the book which Jehoiakim king of Judah had burned in the fire. And there were added besides unto them many like words. Chapter 37. And King Zedekiah the son of Josiah reigned instead of Kona. Oh, side note, I wanted to tell you guys why I was laughing. I was laughing because these names, I'm really bad at names, like, and I was just making up stuff in my head. But anyways, 37 verse 1. And King Zedekiah the son of Josiah reigned instead of Kona the son of Joachim, whom Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon made king in the land of Judah. But neither he, nor his servant, nor the people of the land did hearken unto the word of the Lord, which he spake by the prophet Jeremiah. And Zedekiah the king sent Jehukal, the son of Shemiel, and Zephaniah, the son of Maaseiah, the priest, to the prophet Jeremiah, saying, Pray now unto the Lord our God for us. Now Jeremiah came in and went out among the people, for they had not put him into prison. Then Pharaoh's army was come forth out of Egypt. And when the Chaldeans that besieged Jerusalem heard tidings of them, they departed from Jerusalem. Then came the word of the Lord unto the prophet Jeremiah, saying, Thus saith the Lord, the God of Israel, Thus shall ye say unto the king of Judah, that sent you unto me to inquire to inquire of me. Behold, Pharaoh's army, which is come forth to help you, shall return to Egypt into their own land, and the Chaldeans shall come again and fight against this city and take it and burn it with fire. Thus saith the Lord, deceive not yourselves, saying, the Chaldeans shall surely depart from us, for they shall not depart. For though ye be smitten, the whole army of the Chaldeans that fight against you, and there remained but wounded men among them, yet should they rise every man in his tent and burn this city with fire. And it came to pass that when the army of Chaldeans was broken up from Jerusalem for fear of Pharaoh's army, then Jeremiah went forth out of Jerusalem to go into the land of Benjamin, to separate himself thence in the midst of the people. And when he was in the gate of Benjamin, a captain of the ward was there, whose name was Ahijah, the son of Shelemiah, the son of Hananiah. And he took Jeremiah the prophet, saying, Thou fallest away to the Chaldeans. Then said Jeremiah, it is false. I fall not away to the Chaldeans. But he hearkened not to him. And Ahijah took Jeremiah and brought him to the princes. Wherefore the princes were wroth with Jeremiah and smote him and put him in prison in the house of Jonathan the scribe, for they had made that the prison. When Jeremiah was entered into the dungeon and into the cabins, and Jeremiah had remained there many days, then Zedekiah the king sent and took him out, and the king asked him secretly in his house and said, Is there any word from the Lord? And Jeremiah said, There is, for said he, thou shalt be delivered into the hand of the king of Babylon. Moreover, Jeremiah said unto King Zedekiah, what what have I offended against thee, and against thy servant, and against this people, that ye have put me in prison? Where are now your prophets which prophesied unto you, saying, the king of Babylon shall not come against you, nor against this land? Therefore, hear now, I pray thee, O my lord the king, let my supplication, I pray thee, be accepted before thee, that thou cause me not to return to the house of Jonathan the scribe, lest I die there. Then Zedekiah the king commanded that they should commit Jeremiah into the court of the prison, and that they should give him daily a piece of bread out of the baker's street, until all the bread in the city was spent. Thus Jeremiah remained in the court of the prison. And that is chapter 37. Chapter 38. You want me to read chapter 38?
I'll take 38.
Okay.
Shephatiah, son of Matan, Gedaliah, son of Pashur, Jehukal, son of Shelemiah, and Pashur, son of Malchiah, heard the things that Jeremiah was speaking to all the people, saying, Thus say Yah, whoever remains in this city will die by the sword, by the famine, or by the pestilence, whereas whoever goes out and surrender to the Chaldeans will live. He will have his life as a booty, and he will live. Thus say Yah, this city will surely be delivered into the hand of the army of the king of Babylonia, and he will capture it. And these officers said to the king, Let this man be put to death now, because he is weakened in the hands of the soldiers who remain in this city, and the hands of all the people, by speaking to them such things. For this man does not seek the welfare of this people, but rather their detriment. King Zedekiah then said, Behold, he is in your hands, for the king has no word to dispute you. So they took Jeremiah and threw him into the pit of Malchiah, son of the king, who was in the courtyard of confinement. They lowered Jeremiah with ropes. In the pit there was no water, only mud, and Jeremiah sank partially into the mud. I just want to put a little side note. You're going to see why Jeremiah fits into Isaiah 53 in this too, why he's called the weeping prophet. Abed Melech the Cushite, a senior officer who was in the king's house, heard that they had put Jeremiah into the pit while the king was sitting at the Benjamin gate. So Abed Melech left the king's house and spoke to the king, saying, My lord, the king, these men have acted wickedly in all that they have done to Jeremiah the prophet, and that they have thrown him into the pit. He will die of hunger where he is now, for there is no more bread in the city. So the king commanded Abed-Melech the Cushite, saying, Take 30 men from here with you, and raise Jeremiah the prophet from the pit before he dies. So Abed-Melech took the men with him and went to the king's palace under the treasury, and from there he took worn out rags and worn out scraps, and sent them down with ropes to Jeremiah into the pit. Abed-Melech the Cushite then said to Jeremiah, Put the worn out rags and the scraps under your armpits, under the ropes. And Jeremiah did so. Then they pulled out Jeremiah with the ropes and raised him out of the pit, and Jeremiah remained in the courtyard of confinement. King Zedekiah then sent a messenger and summoned Jeremiah the prophet to come to him to the third entrance of the temple of Yah. The king said to Jeremiah, I am asking you something. Do not withhold anything from me. Jeremiah answered Zedekiah, If I answer you, you will not have me put to death, and if I give you advice, you will not listen to me. King Zedekiah swore to Jeremiah secretly, saying, As Yah lives, who created this soul, I swear that I shall not put you to death, nor turn you over to those people who seek your soul. So Jeremiah said to Zedekiah, Thus say Yah, Elohim of legions, Elohim of Yasharal, if you go forth and surrender to the officers of the king of Babylonia, your soul will live, and this city will not be burnt down in fire. Rather, you and your household will survive. But if you do not go forth to the officers of the king of Babylonia, this city will be delivered into the hand of the Chaldeans, and they will burn it down in fire, and you will not escape from their hand. King Zedekiah said to Jeremiah, I fear the Jews who have deserted to the Chaldeans, lest they give me over into their hand, then they abuse me. But Jeremiah said, They will not give you over. Hearken to the voice of Yah, to what I am telling you, and it will be well for you, and you will live. But if you refuse to go forth and surrender, this is the matter that Yah has shown me. Behold, all the women who remain in the house of the king of Judah are being brought out to the officers of the king of Babylonia. And they are saying, Your allies have persuaded you and overcome you. Your feet have been sunken into the mire, for they have retreated backwards. And all your wives and children are being brought out to the Chaldeans. You yourself will not escape from their hand. For you will be seized by the hand of the king of Babylonia, and you will burn this city down in fire. Zedekiah told Jeremiah, Let no man know about this conversation, and you will not die. But if the officers hear that I have spoken to you, and they come to you and ask you, Tell us now what you spoke to the king. Do not withhold it from us, and we will not kill you. And what did the king speak to you? Say to them, I was pouring out my supplication before the king, that he not send me back to the house of Jonathan to die there. All the officers came to Jeremiah and asked him. He told them according to all the words, all these words that the king had commanded him, and they left him alone, for the matter had not been heard. Jeremiah remained in the courtyard of confinement until the day Jerusalem was captured. Chapter 39. It happened when Jerusalem was captured in the 9th year of Zedekiah, king of Judah, in the 10th month, Nebuchadrezzar, king of Babylonia, and all his army came to Jerusalem and laid siege to it. And in the 11th year of Zedekiah, in the 4th month of the 9th of the month, the city was breached. All the officers of the king of Babylonia came and sat in the middle gate. Nergal-Sarezer, Samgar-Nebu, Sarsakim, the chief captain, Nergal-Sarezer, the chief officer, and all the rest of the officers of the king of Babylonia. It happened when Zedekiah, king of Judah, and all the men of war saw them. They fled and went forth from the city at night by way of the king's garden, through the gate between the walls. The king went forth by the way of the Arabah. The Chaldean army pursued them and overtook Zedekiah at the plains of Jericho. They took him and brought him up to Nebuchadrezzar, king of Babylonia, at Riblah, in the land of Hamath, and he spoke words of judgment to him. The king of Babylonia slaughtered Zedekiah's sons in Riblah before his eyes, and the king of Babylonia slaughtered all the noblemen of Judah. He also blinded Zedekiah's eyes and bound him in leg irons to bring him to Babylonia. The Chaldeans burned down the palace, and the houses of the people in fire, and they smashed the walls of Jerusalem. The remainder of the people who were left in the city, the defectors who had surrendered to him, and the rest of the people who remained, Nebuzaradan, the chief executioner, exiled to Babylonia. But some of the poor people who owned nothing, Nebuzaradan, the chief executioner, left in the land of Judah, and he gave them vineyards and fields on that day. Nebuchadrezzar, king of Babylonia, gave charge of Jeremiah in the hand of Nebuzaradan, the chief executioner, saying, Take him, keep your eyes on him, and do not do him any harm. Rather, as he says to you, so shall you do for him. So Nebuzaradan, the chief executioner, sent, as well as Nebuchadnezzar, the chief captain, and Nergal-Sarezer, the chief officer, and all the officers of Babylonia. They sent for him, but others had already taken Jeremiah out of the courtyard of confinement. They gave him over to Gedaliah, son of Ahikam, son of Shaphan, to remove him to Gedaliah's house, and he dwelt among the people. The word of Yah had come to Jeremiah while he was in the courtyard of confinement, saying, Go and say to Abed-Melech the Cushite, saying, Thus say Yah, Master of Legions, the Elohim of Yasharal, Behold, I am bringing about the fulfillment of my words concerning this city, for evil and not for good, and they will take place before you on that day. But I will rescue you on that day, the word of Yah, and you will not be given over into the hand of men of whom you are afraid. For I shall surely rescue you, and you will not fall by the sword, and you will have your life for booty, for you trusted in me, the word of Yah. Hey, Hazel, where'd she go?
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this at this point, right? The Northern Kingdom or Jerusalem is already in captivity, right? And then now you're having Judah going into captivity, or no? Anybody?
I think so. I think they already, because I know it said kings of
Because
the.
this is dealing with Nebuchadnezzar, right?
Yeah,
Nebuchadnezzar was the same king that took the northern kingdom into captivity, right? Because he took them. He took them from not the Assyrians, but the Medes and the Persians, right? Or am I wrong? Anybody?
Yeah, my bad. I just came back to my phone. Got my headphones in though, so I heard you. So yeah, this entire book of Jeremiah, the Most High, He's speaking, and the prophet Jeremiah. There's three things going on: things that happen, things that are happening, and things that are going to happen. So it's like all three. You see what I'm saying?
You're right. That's kind of what I was gathering from what we're reading. I'm like, I can see things happening, or we can see things unfolding, the prophecies that Jeremiah spoke about what's going to happen. But we can also see that, like, he's telling them what's going to come. Um, but I was kind of like, so this one we're here when we're dealing with Jeremiah, it seems like to me that we're dealing with like the southern kingdom, right? Because something stood out to me. It said something about how Nebuchadnezzar, right? He allowed in Judah, he allowed them like princes and like, you know what I mean? Like, I gotta go backwards and read it, but it was saying like he allowed, I can't remember it. Anyways, never mind. Y'all can continue reading and think about it.
is Nebuchadnezzar and Nebuchadnezzar. I noticed it spells his name two different ways. It'll be Nebuchadrezzar. Is that the same person, or is just they're saying the name two different ways? That has me confused when I see that.
Oh, that is true too. I don't really pay attention to it. I just look at that. Nebuchadnezzar. I think that's the same one in
Cause didn't one of his peoples take over?
it wasn't it Darius, right? Or did
Well, yeah,
Darius come
it's the
before him?
same. It's the same person.
Oh, it's the same one.
Okay.
Yeah, come on.
Okay, yeah, that had me confused. I was like, that's why I like listening, so I can highlight stuff when I go over it.
All right, let me pull it up real quick. Okay, so Nebuchadnezzar the second, also spelled Nebuchadrezzar the second, was the second king of the Neo-Babylonian Empire, ruling from the death of his father Nabopolassar in 605 BC to his own death in 562 BC. Historically known as Nebuchadnezzar the Great, he is typically regarded as the empire's greatest king. So yeah, it's the same type of. When they say
So right here,
Nebuchadnezzar, it's like
we're probably dealing with Nebuchadnezzar the Great. Right here.
yeah, I would say so, possibly yeah.
Okay.
Parents, Shemudika, Babylon. Yeah, children, Belthajar, Amel, Murdoch, the Chokis of Babylon. Grandchildren, Vashti. That's in like Esther 3. I mean Esther 1. That's that with 126 provinces and whatnot. But hold on, let me see. Mention the ancient Babylonian documents, please. Hold on. Yeah, it's the second one. Conquers Judah, destroys Jerusalem, carries the people to Babylon. Of all the heathen monarchs, Nebuchadnezzar is the most prominent. The prophecies of Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Daniel, last chapters of Kings and Chronicles are about him. Yeah, yeah, that's it. All right,
Okay,
they
thank you for
came with
that.
that name. Yeah, no problem. They came with that name. This is what I was really looking for while we're talking about how they even came up with this second name. His name is in two forms, right? Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadrezzar. In the Septuagint, he's called Nabucodonosor. And in the Vulgate, Jerome's Latin Bible, 390 405 AD, Nabucodonosor. That's what that's how the Vanya says it as well. The latter form is also found in the King James version, throughout the Revised Version, Ezra's, Esther, Baruch. This change from the R to the N is found in the two writings of the name in the Hebrew and the Aramaic of the scriptures. It is not an uncommon one in the Semitic languages. All right, hold on, let me see. Nabu Kudri Usur. It means like, O Nebo, protect thy servant. Um, we find four columns of proper names of persons given the Sumerian originals, the Semitic translations of the same. Okay, I get it. I get it. They put both because in the Aramaic, like in the Dead Sea Scrolls and stuff like that, they have like both. They have one, and then like, this one has like one in the Hebrew, I guess.
Again, thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, Shalom 44. What happened to Hazel? Oh, you couldn't get her up?
Yeah, Shalom, 44. Yeah, I don't know. She had her hand raised for a while. You know, I pressed the mic button. I invited her, but the app was tripping or something. Cause what's his name? Grumpy Knuckle said he couldn't come up either. So I don't know. Hey, Mike, you want to take 40, chapter 40, 41?
I could read it. It's 40 and
Yes,
41.
I'll take it.
Oh, go ahead.
This is um Jeremiah chapter 41, right?
Yes, sir.
Alright. This is Jeremiah chapter 41. In the seventh month, Ishmael, the son of um
Oh, no, chapter 40.
Nathan, right?
We're in chapter 40 first.
Wait a minute. I'm on 41. The 40?
40.
Got it. And the word of and the word came to Jeremiah from Yahweh after after Nebuchadnezzar commanded of the pre pre to guard his release him at Ramash. Oh wait, Ramah, Ramesh, right? Where he had he had found Jeremiah bound in chains among all the captivity from Jerusalem and Judah who were being carried into exile to Babylon when the commander of the guard felt Jeremiah, he said to him, Yahweh your Elohim discouraged this disaster for this place, for now Yahweh has brought it about. How does just how he has done just as he said he would. All this happened because you sinned against Yahweh and did not obey him. Verse 4. But to, but today I am freeing you from the chains on your waist, on your wrists. Come with me to Babylon. If you look, and I will, if you would like, and I will look after you. But if you do not want to, then don't come. Look at the whole country lie before you. Or, go where go wherever you please. How, however, before Jeremiah turned to go, Nebuchadnezzar added, and go back to Gadara, Gadara, of the son of the son of Ammon, the son of Shar, Sharfan, son of Sharfan, whom the king of Babylon has appointed over the tower of Jerusalem, and um and live and live with him among the people. Go however else you please. Then command then the commander gave him in visions provision and present and let him go. So Jeremiah went to Gidah, the son of An, man, son of the Matsaphi, and stayed with him. Among the people who were left behind in the land, then all the army officers and their men who were still open in the open country heard that the king of Babylon had appointed Gedaliah, the uh, uh, son of Akim, as governor over the governor of the land, um, and made and him had put him in charge of the man, women, and the child who were poor in the land, and who had no who have not been carried into exile to Babylon. They came to Gadai and Maspera, Ishmael, the son of Nathan, John, Jonathan, and Jonathan, the son of um, Car- Car- Korea, um, Shar, Shariah, the son of Thanu, Thanu, son of Diamoth, the son of um, Ephi, the Na- the Nethites, Nethophai, and Jazariah, the um son of um Ammonite, and their men, and Gedariah, the son of Akim, the son of Shah, 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 Shahan, took an oath, restore them and their men. Do not do not be afraid to serve Babylon. Don't be not be afraid to serve Babylonians. They said, settle down in the land and serve the king of Babylon, and will it will go with it will go well with you. I myself will stay at Mas ha Masa to re preserve you before the Babylonians who came to us. But you are to harvest the wine, the summer fruit, the olive oil, and put them in the strange jar, and live in the town you have taken over. Verse 11. And then all the Jews in Moab, Ammon, and East Edom, and all the others countries heard that the king of Babylon had left a remnant in Judah, and had appointed Gedaliah of Akim, the son of Shahan, Shaphan, as the governor over them. They all came back to the land, Judah and Gihon, at Mosrai, from all the countries they, where they had been scattered, and they harvest an abundance of wine and summer fruit. Jonathan, the son of and all the army's officers, still in the open country, came to Gedaliah at Mus, and said to him, Do you know that Belus, the king of the Ammonites, has set Ishmael, the son of Nathan, to take your life? But Gidon, the son of Akim, said not believe them. Then Jonathan, the son of Karai, said privately to Gedaliah and Mas, um, let them go and kill Ishmael, the son of Nathan, and no one will know it. Why should he take your life and cause all the Jews who are gathered around you to be scattered, and the remnant of Judah to be perished? Gedariah, the son of Ammon, said to Jonathan, the son of Garhan, don't don't do such a thing. What you are to say, what you are saying about Israel is not true. Shalom. Keep going.
Yeah, take 41.
All right. Um, in the seventh month of Ishmael, the son of Hanan, the son of um El- Eli, Elias, Eliasama, Eliasama, who was of the royal bloodline and had been one of the king's officers, came with 10 men to Gedaliah, the son of Akim, at Mas. While they were eating together there. Ishmael, the son of Nathan, and the 10 men who were with him got up and struck down um Gede, uh, Gedaliah, Gedaliah by the son of Akim, the son of Shaphat, Shaphan, with the sword, killed one, and whom the king of Babylon had appointed as governor over the land. Um, Ishmael also killed all the men of Judah who were with Gedaliah and Mas, as well as Babylon, as well as the Babylonian soldiers who were where the day after Gedaliah assist assassination, assassination, because before anyone knows a, anyone knows about it. The 8 men who were shaved off the beards, torn their clothes, and cut themselves, coming from the Sh- Shiloh and Samaria, um, bring bringing gang, bringing grain offerings, and including with them to the house of Yahweh. Um, Ishmael, the son of Nathan, went out from Maspah to meet them and wept as he went. He met them. He said, "Come to Gedaliah, the son of Akim." Then they went in the city. Ishmael, the son of Nathan, and the man who were with him slain, slaughtered him, and threw them into a contain. But the 10 them said to Ishmael, "Don't kill us. We have waged and borrowed and barley. We have waged in barley, oil, and honey. Um, oil, honey hidden in the field." So he let them. He left them alone, and did not kill them with the others. He now the con- more he thrown all the bodies of the man he had killed along with Ali, the was the king, the one king had, has had made as the part of his defense against but Bathsheba, the king of Israel, Ishmael, the son of Nathan, filled it with the dead bodies. Ishmael made captives of all rest of the people who were in Mashpah. The the king's daughter along with king daughter along with the others who were left there over Nebuchadnezzar's command of the royal guarded had appointed Gilari, Gilari, the son of Akim, Ishmael, the son of Nathan, took them captive and set out to cross over the Ammonites when Jonathan of the son of and all the army officers who were with him have heard about all the crimes Ishmael the son of Nathan have committed. They took all their men and went to fight Ishmael the son of Nathan. They carried up with him. They carried up with him near the great pool in Gabon. Then all the people of Ishmael have with him. So Nathan, the son of, Jonathan, the son of, and the army officer who were with him, they were glad. All the people of Ishmael had taken captive at turned and went over to Jonathan, but Ishmael, the son of Nathan, and eight of the eight of his men escaped from Jonathan and flee to the Ammonites. Jonathan, all of his army officers who were with him, led away all the people of who had saved were whom Jonathan had recovered from Ishmael, the son of Nathan, after Ishmael had ass, ass, assassinate um e, e, no, of Akim, the soldiers, um, women, children, and court officers. Court officials. He had recovered the from Gum, and they went on. Wait, they went on stopping at Garu, Giru, Kimham, near Bethlehem on their way to Egypt to escape the Babylonians. They were afraid of them because of Ishmael, the son of Nathan, have killed Gali, the son of Akim, whom the king of Babylon have appointed as the governor over the land. Shalom.
Hey, I hear that music in the background, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You know what's up. Hey,
Huh?
and tonight, you could take 42 and tonight.
Come. Salaki, I could be heard.
Yes, sir.
All right, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 42 and verse 1. Then all the captains of the forces, and Jehonanan, the son of Kareah, the son of Josiah, the son of Hoshea, and all the people from the least unto the greatest came near, and said unto Jeremiah the prophet, Let we beseech thee, our supplication be accepted before thee, and pray for us unto the Lord thy God. Even for all this remnant, for we are left but few of many, and thy eyes do behold us, that the Lord thy God may show us the way wherein we walk, and the thing that we may do. Then Jeremiah the prophet said unto them, I have heard you. Behold, I will pray unto the Lord your God according to your words. And it shall come to pass that whosoever thing the Lord shall answer you, I will declare it unto you, and I will keep nothing back from you. Then they said to Jeremiah, The Lord be a true and faithful witness between us, if we do not even according to all the things for which the Lord our God has shown to send thee unto us. Verse 6 Whether it be good or whether it be evil, we will obey the voice of the Lord our God, to whom we send thee, that it may be well with us, when we obey the voice of the Lord our God. And it come to pass after 10 days that the word of the Lord came unto Jeremiah. Then called Jehonanan the son of Kareah, and all the captains of the forces which were with him, and all the people from the least even to the greatest, and said unto them, Thus saith the Lord God of Israel, unto whom you sent me to present your supplication before him. If you will still abide in this land, then I will build with you and not pull you down, and I will plant you and not pluck you up. For I repent me of the evil that I have done unto you. Verse 11 Be not afraid of the king of Babylon, of whom you are afraid. Be not afraid of him, saith the Lord. For I am with you to save you and to deliver you from his hand. And I will show mercies unto you, that he may have mercy upon you, and cause you to return unto your own land. But if you will say, We will not dwell in this land, neither do obey the voice of the Lord your God, saying, No, but we will go into the land of Egypt, where we shall see no war, nor hear the sound of the trumpet, nor have hunger of bread, and there we will dwell. And now therefore hear the word of the Lord, ye remnant of Judah. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel. If you wholly set your faces to enter into Egypt and go to sojourn there, then it shall come to pass that the sword which you feared shall overtake you in the land of Egypt, and the famine whereof you were afraid, and shall follow close after you there in Egypt, and there you shall die. So it shall be with all the men and set their faces to go into Egypt to sojourn there. They shall die by the sword and by the famine and by the pestilence, and none of them shall remain or escape from the evil that I will bring upon them. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, as my anger and my fury hath been poured upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem, so shall my fury be poured upon you when you shall enter into Egypt. And you shall be an execration and an astonishment and a curse and a reproach, and you shall see this place no more. Verse 19 The Lord has said concerning you, O remnant of Judah, Go ye not into Egypt, know certainly that I have admonished you this day. Verse 20 For you dissembled in your hearts when you sent me unto the Lord your God. Pray unto us to the Lord our God, and according to all that the Lord our God shall say. So declare unto us when we will do it. And now I have David declared it to you. But if you have not obeyed the voice of the Lord your God, nor anything for which he hath sent me unto you, verse 22. Now therefore know certainly that you shall die by the sword, and by the famine, and by the pestilence, and in the place whither you desire to go, and to sojourn.
You can keep going. You can keep reading that tonight. Let somebody else want to take over. Man, I'll let you want to read some more.
Yo, you back at or not?
I know you ain't tap out from the Tanakh already, bro.
Uh, where did he stop off at? 15.
It's nah. We on He just finished 42. We on 43.
You want me to read it?
I got you. I got you.
All right.
It happened when JeremiYaH finished speaking all the words of Yah, their Alahayim, to all the people to whom Adonai their Alahayim has sent. All these words that Azariah, Ban Hoshayah, and Yahanan, Ban Karayah, and all the arrogant men said to JeremiYaH, you speak falsehood. Yah, our Alahayim, did not send to you to say, do not go to Mizraim to sojourn there. Rather, Barak Ban Neriah is inciting you against us in order to deliver us into the hand of the Chaldee, to kill us and to exile us into Babylonia. So Yohanan, Ban Karayah, and all the army officers and all the people that did not listen to the voice of Yah to settle in the land of Yahudah, and Yohanan, Ban Karayah, and all the army officers took the remnant of Yahudah that returned from all the countries to which they'd been dispersed, to sojourn in the land of Yahudah, the men, the women, the children, the daughters of the king, and all the people whom Nebuzaradan, the chief executioner, had left with Gedaliah, Ban Ahayakam, Ban Shaphayah, and Yirmiyaah the Nabiyah, and Barak Ban and Neriah. They came to the Ha'arats of Mitzrayim, for they did not listen to the voice of Yah, as they came to the Taphanes. The word of Yah came to Yirmiyaah Taphaniyat, saying, take in your hand large stones, cover them with mortar and brick, and kill that is near the entryway to the Hekal of Pharaoh in Taphanas, in the presence of the Yahudiya, or like the Yahudiya, the Judeans, and say to them, thus said Yah, Shabbat, the Alahayim of Israel. Behold, I am sending to take Nebuchadrezzar, Malach of Babylonia, my servant, and I am placing his throne above these stones that I have covered, and he will spread his tent over them. And he will come and strike the land of Mitzrayim. Whoever is destined for death will go to death, for captivity to captivity, and for the sword to the sword. And I shall set fire to all the temples of the Elohims of Mizraim. And he will burn them and plunder them. And he will wrap up the booty of the Ha'arats of Mizraim as a shepherd wraps things in his garment. And he will leave there in Shalom. He will shatter the pillars of the Hekal of the sun that is in the land of Mizraim. And he will burn down all the Hekalim of the Mitzrayim, Elohim, in fire. Then the word came to JeremiYaH concerning all the Yahudiya who were living in the Mitzrayim, who were living in the Magidal, in the Taphanes, and Naph, and in the Ha'arats of Patarats, saying, thus said Yah, Shabbat, Master of legions, Alahayim and Yasharal, you have seen all the misfortune that I have brought upon Jerusalem and upon all the cities of Yahudah. And behold, they are in ruin to this day. There is no inhabitants in them because of their evil that they did to anger me to go burn incense, to worship the Elohims of others whom they did not know. They, you and your fathers, I sent all my servants, the Nabiyah, to you, arising early and sitting, saying, do not perform this act of abomination that I detest. But they did not listen, nor did they incline their ear to repent from evil, not to burn incense to the Elohim of others. So my wrath, my anger was poured out and burned in the cities of Yahudah and in the streets of Jerusalem. So they became ruined and desolate as of this day. And now, thus says Yah, Allahayim of legions, the Allahayim of Yesharel, why are you doing this great evil to your Nafashah, to cut off yourselves, man and woman, child and infant, from the midst of Yahudah, not to leave yourselves a remnant, to anger me with the deeds of your hands, to burn incense to the Elohims of others in the land of Mizraim? Where have you gone to sojourn, so that you will cut yourselves off, and so that you will curse and a disgrace among all the goyim of the earth. Have you forgotten all the evils of your forefathers, the evils of the kings of Yahudiah, and all the evils of his wives, your own evils and the evils of your wives, that they committed in the Ha'arats of Yahudiah and in the streets of Jerusalem? They have not been subdued to this day. They have not feared, and they have not followed my Tharawah, my decrees that I placed before you in your Abiyah. Therefore, thus said Yah Adonai of legions, Elohim of Israel, behold, I am turning my attention to you for adversity, to cut all of Yahudiah. And I will take the remnant of Yahudah, who have set their faces to come to the Ha'arats of Mizraim to sojourn there, and they will perish. They will fall in the land of Mizraim. They will perish by the sword and by the famine. From the smallest to the greatest, they will die by the sword and the famine, and they will be an example for an oath, an astonishment, a curse, a disgrace. I shall deal with those who dwell in the Ha'arats of Mizraim as I dealt with Yerushalayim, with the sword, with the famine, with the pestilence. There will be no fugitive nor survivor from the remnant of Yahudah who have come to sojourn there in the land of Mizraim, to return to the land of Yahudiah, where they have lifted up their hopes and returned to settle, for they will not return except as fugitives. They answered JeremiYaH, all the people who knew that their wives were burning incense to the Elohims of others, and all the women who stood in the great assembly, and all the people who dwelled in the land of Mizraim and Pathros, saying, concerning the word that you have spoken to us in the name of Adonai, we do not listen to you. Rather, we will indeed continue to fulfill everything that came from our mouths, to burn incense to the queen of the Hashemayim, and to pour libations to her as we did. We and our fathers, our kings and our officers, in the cities of Yahudiah and the streets of Jerusalem, when we were sated with food, lived well, saw no misfortune. For ever since we stopped burning incense to the queen of the Hashemayim and pouring out libations to her, we have lacked everything, and we have perished by the sword and by the famine. Furthermore, when we burn offerings to the queen of the Hashemayim and pour out libations to her, it is without our husband's consent, that we make her delicacies to gladden her and pour out the libation. JeremiYaH spoke to the people, to the man, to the women, to all the people who had given them his answer, saying, is it not because of the incense that you and your fathers, and you and your kings and the officers and the general populace burned in the cities of Yahudiah and the streets of Jerusalem? They are what Yah recalled, and they came to his attention. Yah could no longer forbear in the face of the wickedness of your deeds, in the face of the abominations that you committed. So lay your hand, become a ruin, a desolation, and a curse, without inhabitant as this very day, because you burned incense and sin to Yah, and did not heed the voice of Yah, and you did not follow his Tharawah, his decrees, his testimonies. Therefore, evil has befallen you, as this very day. Jeremiah said to all of the people, and especially to the women, hear the word of Adonai, of all of Yahudiah, who are in the land of Mizraim. Thus said Yah, Shabbaoth, Elohim and Israel, you and your wives have spoken with your mouths and have performed with your hands, saying, we will surely fulfill our vows that we have vowed to burn incense to the queen of the Hashemayims and to pour out libations to her. Indeed, you continue to fill your vows and carry out your vows. Therefore, hear the word of Yah, all of Yehudah, who dwelled in the land of Mitzrayim. Behold, I swear by my great name, said Adonai, that my name will no longer be mentioned in the mouths of any man of Judah, saying, as my Adonai Yah Elohim lives in the entire land of Mitzrayim, behold, I shall be a diligent towards them, and not for good. Hold on, I'm reading something in Hebrew. And all the men of Judah who are in the Ha'arats of Mitzrayim will perish by the sword and by the famine until they are annihilated. And fugitives from the sword will return from the land of Egypt to the land of Judah, few in number, and all the remnant of Judah who have come to the land of Egypt to sojourn there will know whose word will prevail, mine or theirs. This will be a sign for you. Hold on, let me look something real quick. Because it keeps saying sword. Hmm. All right, my bad. This will be a sign for you, the word of Yah, that I will attend to you in this place, in order that you may know that my words concerning you for evil will surely come about. Thus saith Yah, behold, I am delivering Paro, Hafarah, Malak of Mizraim, into the hands of his enemies, into the hands of those who seek his Nafashah. Just as I delivered Zedekiah, Malak of Yahudah, into the yard of Nebuchadrezzar, Malak of Babylonia, his enemy who sought his Nafashah. The word that JeremiYaH the Nabi Yah spoke to Barak ban Nerayah when he wrote down these prophecies into a suffer by the mouth of JeremiYaH. In the fourth year of Yahoyakim, ban Hosayah, Malak of Yahudah, Debariah, Wayamara, Adonai, Alahayim Yasharah, concerning you, Baruch. You said, woe is me, for Adonai has added grief upon my pain. I have grown weary from my groaning, and I have found no rest. Say this to him. Thus said Yah, behold, that which I built I am destroying, and that which I have planted I am uprooting. And this is throughout all the land. Yet you seek great things for yourself. Do not seek them, for behold, I am bringing misfortune upon all flesh, the word of Yah. And I will give your nafashah, your soul, as booty in all the places where you go. The word of Yah that came to JeremiYaH the Nabi Yah concerning the Goyah, concerning Mitzrayim, concerning the army of Parak, Neko Malak of Mitzrayim, which was at the Euphrates Nahal, and Karkamash, which Nebuchadrezzar, Malak of Babylonia, defeated in the fourth year of Jehoiakim, Ban Yosayah, Malak of Yahudah. Prepare the buckler and the shield and approach battle. Harness the horses and mount them. O cavalrymen, stand ready in helmets, sharpen the spears, don the mail armor. Why do I see them panicking and retreating, their strong men crushed, fleeing in haste without turning around? There is all terror all around. The word of Yah, the swift cannot flee and the strong man cannot escape. Up north by the Euphrates they stumble and fall. Who is this who rises up like the Nile, like the river, its waters which surge? It is Mitzrayim that rises up like the Nile, and like the rivers and the waters which surge. And I said, I will rise up and cover the land. I will destroy the city and those who inhabit it. Go up, horses, drive in a frenzy. O chariot, let the strong man go forth. The men of Cush put, graspers of the shield, and the Ludi, graspers of the drawers of the bow. The day will be a day of revenge for my Adonai Yahweh Alahayim Shabbaot, a day of vengeance to avenge himself of his enemies. And the sword shall consume and be sated, its thirst quenched by their blood. For it is a slaughter from my Adonai Yahweh Alahayim Shabbaoth in the Ha'arats of the north, and the Euphrates Nahal. May you go up to Gilead to get balm, O virgin daughter of Mitzrayim. In vain have you increased remedies, there is no cure for you. The Goyim heard of your debacle, and your outcry fills the Ha'arats. For warrior will stumble over warrior, both of them will fall together. The word that Yah spoke to JeremiYaH the Nabi Yah that Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylonia, would come to strike the land of Mitzrayim. Proclaim it in Mitzrayim. Make it heard in Magadah. Make it heard in Naf and Taphanes, and say, stand in erect and prepare yourself, for the sword will devour all your surroundings. Why are all your warriors swept away? None could stand because Yah thrust them down. He caused much stumbling, indeed, each man fell against his fellow. They said, arise and let us return to our people, the land of our birth, from before the sword of the oppressor. The Chaldee called out from there, Paro, the blustery king of Egypt, has let the appointed time go by. As I live, the word of the Malak, whose name is Yah, master of legions, I swear that like Tabor among the mountains of Carmel by the sea, so shall Nebuchadnezzar come. Make yourself geared for exile, O daughter who dwells in Mitzrayim, for Noph shall be a desolation and a wasteland without inhabitant. Mitzrayim is a beautiful calf, but a slaughter from the north is surely coming. Even its mercenaries within it are like fatted calves, for two they have fled together. They did not stand, for the day of their tragedy has come upon them, the time of their accounting. Mizraim's voice will travel like a snake, for the Babylonians will come against them without an army. They arrive against her with axes like woodcutters. They will cut down her forest, the word of Yah. For they are beyond calculation, for they are more numerous than the locusts, and there is no number for them. The daughter of Mitzrayim shall be humiliated, delivered into the hands of the northern people. Yah, master of legions, Elohim of Israel, behold, I am attending to Ammon of No. That's no Aman, that's thieves in Egypt. To Pharaoh, to Mitzrayim and its Elohim and its Melechim, and to Pharaoh and those who trust in him. I shall deliver them into the hand of those who seek their soul, and into the hand of Nebuchadrezzar, king of Babylonia, into the hands of his servants. But therefore, after you will have rest, as in the days of old, the word of Yah. But as for you, do not be afraid, my servant Jacob, and do not be frightened, O Israel. For behold, I am saving you from afar, and your offspring from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return and be tranquil and complacent, and none will make him afraid. You do not be afraid, my servant Jacob, the word of Yah, for I am with you, though I shall make an end of all the goyim where I have dispersed you. But you I shall not make an end. I shall punish you with justice, but I shall not destroy you utterly. The word of Yah that came to JeremiYaH the prophet concerning the Philistine, before Pharaoh attacked Gaza. Thus said Yah, behold, waters are arising from the north and will come in swift stream. They will sweep away the land and all that is in it, the city and all who dwell in it. The people will cry out, and the inhabitants of the land will wail because of the sound of the galloping hooves of his mighty steeds, because of the noise of his chariots and the tumult wheels. Fathers will not attend to their children because of the feebleness of their hands. On the day that is approaching for the plunder of all the Philistine to cut off any remaining help from Tyre and Sidon. For Yah comes to Gaza, and Ashkelon is demolished, the remnant of their lowland. How long will you cut your flesh? Alas, sword of Yah, how long will you not be quiet? Gather yourself into your scabbard, be at ease, be still. But how could it be quiet when Yah has sent it on a mission against Ashkelon and against the seashore? That is where he directed it. Concerning Ma'ab, thus says Yah, master of legions, Elohim of Israel. Alas to Nebo, for it has been plundered, shamed, captured. It was of Kiryatham. Shame, it was Mishgah, and devastated. The glory of Moab is no more. In Hashban, its enemies have devised evil against it. Let us go and eliminate it from nationhood. Madmen, also be still, for the sword will come after you. The sound of the outcry comes from the Horonaim, plunder and great calamity. Moab has been shattered, its youth let out a cry. For people will go up to the ascent of the Luhith with weeping, ascending, weeping, for the descent of the Horonaim. Adversaries heard the cries of calamity. Flee, save yourselves. Be like Arawar in the desert. For because you put your trust in your accomplishments and in your treasuries, you too will be conquered. Chemosh will leave for exile. His priests, his officials together, a plunder will come to every city. No city will be spared. The valley will be the lost and the plain laid waste. For Yah has spoken. Give Moab a wing, for they will be flying away. Its cities will become desolate without inhabitant in them. Cursed be the one who carries out the mission of Yah deceitfully. Cursed be the one who withholds his sword from bloodshed. Moab was complacent from its youth, tranquil on its leaves, and not being poured from container to container, and did not go into exile. Therefore, its taste has stayed in it, and its scent was not diminished. Therefore, behold, days are coming, the word of Yah, when I will send against it pourers, and they will pour it out, and they will empty Moab's containers and smash its barrels. Moab will be ashamed of Chemosh, just as the house of Israel was ashamed of Bethel, in which they trusted. How can you say, we are mighty men, brave of war? Moab have been plundered, and its cities obliterated, and its best young men have gone to the slaughter. The word of the king, Yah, master of legions is his name. Moab's disaster is near to come. Its fortunes hurries fast. Mourn for it all, who are all around it and who know its renown. Say, how has the staff of strength, the rod of splendor been shattered? Descend from glory and sit in thirst, O daughter who dwells in Dibon. For the despoiler of Moab has come against you and has destroyed all your strongholds. Stand and watch by the road, O dweller of Arawar. Ask him that flees and her that escapes. Say, what happened? Moab has become ashamed, for they have been devastated. Wail and cry out, announcing Arnon and Moab has been plundered. Judgment is coming to the land of the plain, to Halan, to Jazza, and to Mepha'at, to Dibon, and to Debah, to Bayat Deblathium, and to Kirithiyam, and to Bayat Gamal, and to Bayat Miyam, and to Kerawat, Basra, to all the cities of the land of Moab. the far ones, the near ones. The horn of Moab has been nipped and its arm has been broken. The word of Yah. Get him drunk, for he has been arrogant to Yah. Let Moab wallow in his vomit, and him too become a laughing stock. For was Israel not a laughing stock to you? Was he found among thieves? Yet whenever you speak of him, you wag your head. Leave the cities and reside the rock. O dwellers of Moab, be like a dove who nests in the side of the pit. We have heard the pride of Moab. It was excessively prideful. His conceit, his pride, his haughtiness, the arrogance of his heart. I know his fury, the word of Yah, and it is unfounded. His heroes acted improperly. Therefore, Moab will I wail, and for all Moab I will cry out, moan for the men of Kir Heres. I will weep for you like the weeping of Jazer, O vine of Shibimah. Your shoots have gone over the sea, reaching the sea of Jazer. Upon your fruits and upon your grape harvest has the plunderer descended. Joy and happiness will cease from the fertile field and from the land of Moab. I have abolished the wine from the winepress. They will no longer trample the grapes with cries of Hedad, no more Hedad. And outcry from Hashbon to Eliah. As far as Jahaz, they have raised their voice. Outcries come from Zawar to Haranaim. A third born calf. For even the waters of Nimrim will become desolate. I will abolish Moab, the word of Yah. Whoever sacrifices at a high place and whoever burns incense to his Elohim. Therefore, my heart moans for Moab like flutes, and my heart moans like flutes for the men of Kir Heres. Therefore, prosperity that they have amassed has been lost. For every head is bald, and every beard is plucked. On every hand there are cuts, and on their loins is sackcloth. On every rooftop of Moab, and in the streets there is lamenting everywhere. For I have shattered Moab like a useless vessel. The word of Yah. How have you been devastated? They will. How has Moab in shame turned its back in flight? For Moab will become a laughing stock and a source of fright for those around it. For thus says Yah, behold, like an eagle, the enemy will swoop down and spread its wings against Moab. Kiriath is captured and the stronghold seized. On the days of the hearts of Moab's warriors will be like the heart of a woman in childbirth. Moab shall be destroyed as a people, for they have been arrogant to Yah. Terror and pit and snare upon you, O dweller of Moab, the word of Yah. Whoever escapes the terror will fall into a pit, and whoever emerges from the pit will be caught in the trap. For I shall bring against Moab the year of their accounting, the word of Yah. Hold on, let me read that. All right. Those who flee in the shadow of Heshbon without strength, but a fire has come forth from Heshbon, a flame from the city of Sion, which consumes the uttermost corner of Moab and the skull of the tumultuous people. Woe to you, Moab! The people of Chemosh are lost, for your sons are taken into captivity and your daughters into captivity. However, I will bring back the captivity of Moab in the end of days. The word of Yah. Until this point is the judgment of Moab. Somebody else want to take the next few? Hey, Shalom, Yashim.
Take the where
Where
you
you
at?
at?
Naya left again, man. I think
Where?
he don't see Jeebus in here. He start leaving.
We at
You
chapter 49.
you could take it, and
Oh yeah, I could read it. This is chapter 49 concerning the Ammonites. Thus saith the Lord: Hath Israel no sons? Hath he no heirs? Why then doeth their kings inherit Gad, and his people dwell in his cities? Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will cause an alarm of war to be heard in Rabbah of the Ammonites, and it shall come, and it shall be a desolate heap, and her daughters shall be burned with fire. Then shall Israel be heir unto them that were his heirs, saith the Lord. How, oh, what is this? Hishbon, for I is spoiled, Ale is spoiled. Cry ye daughters of Rabbah, gird you with sackcloth, lament and run to and fro by the hedges, for their kings, for the king shall go into captivity, and his priest and his princes together. Therefore glorious thou in the valleys, thy flowing valley, O backsliding daughter, that trust in her treasures, saying, Who shall come unto me? Behold, I will bring a fear upon thee, saith the Lord God of hosts, from all those that are about thee, and ye shall be driven out, every man right forth, and none shall gather up him that wandereth. And afterward I will bring again the captivity of the children of Ammon, saith the Lord. Verse 7. Concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord of hosts, Is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan, for I will bring the calamity of Esau upon him, the time that I will visit him. If grape gatherers come to thee, would thy not leave some gleaning grapes? If thieves by night, they will destroy till they have enough. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. Leave thy fatherless children, I will preserve them alive, and let thy widow trust in me. For thus saith the Lord, behold, thy they whose judgment was not to drink out of the cup have assuredly drunken. And art thou he that shall altogether be unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. For I have sworn by myself, saith the Lord, that Basra shall become a desolation and reproach, a waste and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual waste. I have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is set unto the heathen, saying, Gather you together and come against her, and rise up to the battle. For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen, and despised among men. Thy troubleness hath deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, that holdest the height of the hill. Though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, saith the Lord. Also Edom shall be a desolation. Every one that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah, and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord. No man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. Behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of Jordan against the habitation of the strong. But I will suddenly make him run away from her, and who is a chosen man, that I may appoint over her. For who is like me, and who shall appoint me the time, and who is the shepherd that will stand before me? Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Edom, and his purpose that he hath proposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. The earth is moved at the noise of their fall. At the cry, the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea. Behold, he shall come up and fly as the eagle, and spread his wings over Basra. And at the day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of a woman in her pags. Concerning Damascus, Hamath is confounded, and Arpad, for they have heard evil tidings. They are faint-hearted. There is sorrow on the sea; it cannot be quiet. Damascus is waxed feeble, and turneth herself to flee. And fear hath seized on her, anguish and sorrow have taken her, as a woman in travail. How is the city of praise not left? The city of my joy, thereof her young men shall fall in her street, and all the men of war shall be cut off in that day, saith the Lord of hosts. And I will kindle a fire in the wall of Damascus, and it shall consume the palaces of, what is this, Ben Hadad? Verse 28, concerning Kedar, and concerning the kingdoms of Hazor, which Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon shall smite. Thus saith the Lord, arise ye, go up to Kedar, and spoil the men of the east. Their tents and their flocks shall they take away. They shall take to themselves their curtains, and all their vessels, and their camels, and they shall cry unto them, fear is on every side. Flee, go you far off, dwell deep, O ye inhabitants of her Hazor, saith the Lord. For Nebuchadrezzar, king of Babylon, have taken counsel against you, and have conceived a purpose against you. Arise, get ye up into the wealthy nation that dwell without care, saith the Lord, which have neither gate nor bars, which dwell alone, and their camels shall be a booty, and the multitude of their cattle a spoil. And I will scatter into all winds them that are in the utmost corner, and I will bring their calamity from all sides thereof, saith the Lord. And Hazor shall be a dwelling for dragons, and a desolation forever. There shall no man abide there, nor any son of man dwell in it. The word of the Lord that came to Jeremiah the prophet against Elam in the beginning of the reign of um what is it, Zedekiah king of Judah, saying, thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, I will break the bow of Elam, the chief of their might, and upon Elam will I bring the four winds from the four quarters of heaven, and will scatter them toward all those winds, and there shall be no nation whither the outcast of Elam shall not come. For I will cause Elam to be dismayed before their enemies, and before them that seek their life, and I will bring evil upon them, even my fierce anger, saith the Lord, and I will send the sword after them till I have consumed them, and I will set my throne in Elam, and I will destroy from thence the king and the princes, saith the Lord. But it shall come to pass in the latter days that I will bring again the captivity of Elam, saith the Lord. Chapter 50. The word of the Lord spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. Declare ye among the nations, and publish, and set up a stand, and publish and conceal not. Say Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded. What is this? Merodach is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded. Her images are broken in pieces. For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove they shall depart, both men and beasts. And in those days and in that time, saith the Lord, the children of Israel shall come, they and the children of Judah together, going and weeping, and they shall go and seek the Lord their God. They shall ask the way of Zion with their faces thitherward, saying, come, and let us join ourselves to the Lord in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains, and they have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place. All that found them have devoured them, and their adversaries said, we offend not, because they have sinned against the Lord, the habitation of justice, even the Lord, the hope of their fathers. Verse 8, remove out of the midst of Babylon, and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans, and be as the he goat before the flock.
For lo, I will rise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in the array against her. From thence shall she be taken. Their arrows shall be as the mighty expert men. None shall return in vain. And Chaldea shall be a spoil, and all that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord, because ye were glad, because ye rejoice, O ye destroyers of mine heritage, because ye are grown fat as the heifer at grass, and bellow as bulls. Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. Because the wrath of the Lord it shall because of the wrath of the Lord it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her, spare no arrow, for she hath sinned against the Lord. Shout against her round about. She hath given her hand, her foundations are fallen, her walls are thrown down, for it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance upon her, as she hath done, do unto her. Cut off the sower from Babylon, and him that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest, for fear of the for fear of the oppressing word sword. They shall turn every one to his people, and they shall flee every one to his own land. Israel is a scattered sheep. The lion have driven him away. First, the king of Assyria hath devoured him, and last, this Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, hath broken his bones. Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel: Behold, I will punish the king of Babylon and his land, as I have punished the king of Assyria, and I will bring Israel again to his habitation, and he shall feed on Carmel and what is this, Bashan, and his soul shall be satisfied upon Mount Ephraim and Gilead. In those days and in that time, saith the Lord, the iniquity of Israel shall be sought for, and there shall be none, and the sins of Judah, and they shall not be found, for I will pardon them whom I reserve. Go up against the land of Meratham, even against it, and against the inhabitants of Pekod, waste and utterly destroy after them, saith the Lord, and do according to all that I have commanded thee. A sound of battle is in the land, and a great destruction. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast strict striving against the Lord. The Lord hath opened his armory and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord God of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. Come against her from the utmost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heap, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing be left. Slay all her bullocks, let them go down to the slaughter. Woe unto them, for their day is come, the time of their visitation. Verse 28. The voice of them that flee and escape out of the land of Babylon, to declare in Zion the vengeance of the Lord our God, the vengeance of his temple. Call together the archers against Babylon, all ye that bend the bow, camp against it round about. Let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her works, according to all that she hath done, do unto her. For she hath been proud against the Lord, against the Holy One of Israel. Therefore shall her young men fall in the street, and all her men of war shall be cut off in that day, saith the Lord. Behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, saith the Lord God of hosts. For thy day is come, the time that I will visit thee, and the proud and the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall raise him up. And I will kindle a fire in the cities, and it shall devour all round about him. Thus saith the Lord of hosts: the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captive held them fast and refused to let them go. Their Redeemer is strong. The Lord of hosts is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give them rest and give rest to the land, and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. A sword is upon the Chaldeans, saith the Lord, and upon the inhabitants of Babylon, and upon her princes, and upon her wise men. A sword is upon the liars, and they shall dote. A sword is upon her mighty men, and they shall be dismayed. A sword is upon their horses, and upon their chariots, and upon their mingled people that are in the midst of her, and they shall become as women. A sword is upon her treasures, and they shall be robbed. A drought is upon her waters, and they shall be dried up. For it is the land of graven images, and they are made upon their idols, or sorry, they are mad upon their idols. Therefore the wild beast and the desert with the wild beast of the islands shall dwell there, and the owls shall dwell therein, and it shall be no more inhabited forever. Neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. As God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord, so shall no man abide there, neither shall any son of men dwell therein. Behold, a people shall come from the north, a great nation, and many kings shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. They shall hold the bow and the lance, and they are cruel and will not show mercy. Their voice shall roar like the sea, and they shall ride upon horses, every one put in array, like a man to the battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon. The king of Babylon hath heard the report of them, and his hands wax feeble. Anguish took hold of him, and pangs as the woman in travail. Behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of Jordan unto the habitation of the strong. But I will make them suddenly run away from her. And who is a chosen man, that I may appoint over her? For who is like me? And who will appoint me the time? And who is the shepherd that will stand before me? Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord, that he hath taken against Babylon, and his purpose that he hath proposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Suddenly the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them, and the noise of all and the noise of the taking of Babylon. The earth is moved, and the cry is heard among the nations. You want me to read 51 too? I don't mind.
Yeah, yeah. Got it.
Okay, let me just try this. This is chapter 51 of Jeremiah. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will rise up against Babylon, and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, and destroying wind, and will send upon Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about, against him that bendeth let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifted himself up in his what is this bridgendent, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all of her host. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in her streets. For Israel have not been forsaken, nor Judah of his God, of the Lord of hosts. Though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel, flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul, but not cut off in her iniquities, I'm sorry. For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, thereof the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain. If so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go, every one into his own country. For her judgment reaches unto the heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. I mean, the Lord hath brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord our God. Make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes. He has, for his devices is against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. Set up the stands upon the walls of Babylon. Make the watch strong. Set up the watchmen. Prepare the ambushes. For the Lord hath both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thine end is come, in the measure of thy covetousness. The Lord of hosts hath sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men, as with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. He hath made the earth by his power. He hath established the world by his wisdom. And he hath stretched out the heavens by his understanding. When he uttereth his voice, there is a multitude of waters in the heavens. And he causeth the vapors to ascend from the ends of the earth. He maketh lightning with rain, and bringeth forth the wind out of his treasures. Every man is brutish by his knowledge. Every founder, every founder is confounded by the graven image, for his molten image is falsehood, and there is no breath in them. They are vanity, the works of error. In the time of their visitation, they shall perish. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things, and Israel is the rod of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name. Thou art my battle axe and my weapon of war. For with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy the kingdoms, and with thee will I break in pieces the horses and his riders, and with thee will I break in pieces the chariots and his riders. Verse 22. With thee also will I break in pieces man and woman, and with thee will I break in pieces old and young, and with thee will I break in pieces the young man and the maid. I will also break in pieces with thee the shepherd and his flock, and with thee will I break in pieces the husbandman and his yoke of oxen, and with thee will I break in pieces captains and rulers, and with thee and I will render upon Babylon and to all the inhabitants of Chaldea all their evil that they have done in Zion in my sight, saith the Lord. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord, which destroyeth all the earth. And I will stretch out mine hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and with and will make thee a burnt mountain, and they shall not take of thee a stone for a corner, nor a stone for foundations, but thou shalt be desolate forever, saith the Lord. Set ye up a standard in the land, blow the trumpet among the nations, prepare the nations against her, call together against her the kingdoms of Iraq, Menin, and Ashkenaz. Appoint a captain against her, cause the horses cause the horses to come up as the rough caterpillar. Prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes, the captains thereof, and all the rulers thereof, and all the land of his dominion. And the land shall tremble and sorrow forever. For every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without an inhabitant. The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might has failed. They became as women. They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken. One post shall run to meet another, and one messenger to meet another, and to show the king of Babylon that his city is taken at one end, and that his passages are stopped, and the reeds they are burned with fire, and the men of war are affrighted. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel: the daughter of Babylon is a threshing floor, and it is time to thresh her. Yet a little while, and the time of her harvest shall come. 34. Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, hath devoured me. He hath crushed me, and he hath made me an empty vessel. He hath swallowed me up like a dragon. He hath filled his belly with my delicates. He hath cast me out. The violence done to me and to my flesh be upon Babylon. Shall the inhabitants of Zion say, and my blood upon the inhabitants of Chaldea shall Jerusalem say. Therefore, thus saith the Lord: behold, I will plead thy cause and take vengeance for thee, and I will dry up her sea and make her springs dry. And Babylon shall become heap and a dwelling place for dragons, an astonishment and a hissing without an inhabitant. They shall roar together like lions, they shall yell as lions whelp. In their heat I will make their feast, and I will make them drunken, that they may rejoice and sleep a perpetual sleep and not wake, saith the Lord. I will bring them down like lambs to the slaughter, like rams with the he goats. How is Shishak taken, and how is the praise of the whole earth surprised? How is Babylon become an astonishment against the nations? The sea is come up upon Babylon; she is covered with the multitude of the ways thereof. Her cities are a desolation, a dry land, and a wilderness, a land wherein no man dwelleth, neither doeth son of men pass by. And I will punish Bel in Babylon, and I will bring forth out of his mouth that which he hath swallowed up, and the nations shall not flow together any more unto him. Yea, the wall of Babylon shall fall. My people, go ye out of the midst of her, and deliver every man his soul from from the fierce anger of the Lord. And lest your heart faint, and your fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land. A rumor shall both come 1 year, and after that in another year shall another rumor, and violence in the land, ruler against ruler. Therefore, behold, the days come that I will do judgment upon the graven images of Babylon, and her whole land shall be confounded, and all her slain shall fall in the midst of her. Then the heaven and the earth and all that is therein shall sing for Babylon, for the spoilers shall come unto her from the north, saith the Lord. As Babylon hath caused the slain of Israel to fall, so at Babylon shall fall the slain of the earth. Yea, they that escape the sword, go away, stand not still, remember the Lord far off, and let Jerusalem come into your mind. We are confounded because we have heard reproach. Shame have covered our faces, for strangers are come into the sanctuaries of the Lord's house. Wherefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will do judgment upon her graven images, and through all her land the wounded shall groan. Though Babylon should mount up the heaven to heaven, and though she should fortify the height of her strength, yet shall yet from me shall spoilers come unto her, saith the Lord. A sound of a cry cometh from Babylon, and a great destruction from the land of the Chaldeans, because the Lord hath spoiled Babylon, and destroyed out of her the great violence. When her waves do roar like great waters, a noise of their voice is uttered, because the spoiler is come upon her, even upon Babylon, and her mighty men are taken. Every one of their bows is broken, their bowls is broken. For the Lord God of recompense shall surely requite, and I will make drunk her princes and her wise men, her captains and her rulers, and her mighty men, and they shall sleep a perpetual sleep and not wake, saith the King, whose name is the Lord of hosts. Thus saith the Lord of hosts: the broad walls of Babylon shall be utterly broken, and her high gates shall be burned with fire, and the people shall labor in vain, and the folk in the fire, and they shall be weary. The word which Jeremiah the prophet commanded Syria, the son of Nera, the son of Masiel, Masiel, when he went with Zedekiah, the king of Judah, into Babylon in the 4th year of his reign. And this Syria was a quiet prince. So Jeremiah wrote in a book all the evil that should come upon Babylon, even all those words that were written against Babylon. And Jeremiah said to Syria, when thou comest to Babylon, and shalt see, and shalt read all these words, then shalt thou say, O Lord, thou hast spoken against this place, to cut it off, that none shall remain in it, neither man nor beast, but that it shall be desolate forever. And it shall be, where thou hast made an end of reading this book, that thou shalt bind a stone to it, and cast it into the midst of the Euphrates. And thou shalt say, thus shall Babylon sink, and shall not rise from the evil that it shall bring upon her, that I shall bring upon her, and they shall be weary. Thus far as the words of Jeremiah. Whew, that's chapter 51.
Hey, you sound like you
Um,
need water or some milk or something.
I
I'll
I
take
can
the.
read this last one. It's only one more, but that was a lot.
Yeah, I got the last one.
Okay, go ahead. Thank you.
Zedekiah was 21 years old when he became king, and he reigned for 11 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Hamutal, daughter of Jeremiah of Libnah. He did what was evil in the eyes of Yah, like everything that Jehoiakim had done. It was because the wrath of Yah was upon Jerusalem and Judah, until he would cast them away from his presence, that Zedekiah rebelled against the king of Babylonia. It happened in the 9th year of Zedekiah's reign, in the 10th month, on the 10th of the month, that Nebuchadrezzar, king of Babylonia, he and his entire army came to wage war against Jerusalem and encamped there, and built a siege tower around it. The city came under siege until the 11th year of King Zedekiah. In the 4th month, on the 9th of the month, the famine in the city became critical. There was no food for the people of the land. The city was breached, and all the men of war fled. and left the city during the night by way of the gate between the walls, which was near the king's garden, although the Chaldeans were upon the city all around. And they went by the way of the Arabah. The Chaldean army pursued the king and overtook Zedekiah at the plains of Jericho, and his entire army dispersed from him. They seized the city and brought him up to the king of Babylonia at Riblah, in the land of Hamath, and he spoke words of judgment to him. The king of Babylonia slaughtered Zedekiah's sons before his eyes. He also slaughtered the officers of Judah in Riblah, and he blinded Zedekiah's eyes. Then they bound him in copper chains. The king of Babylonia brought him to Babylonia, where he was put in the place of detention until the day of his death. In the 5th month, on the 10th of the month, which was the 19th year of Nebuchadrezzar, king of Babylonia, Nebuzaradan, the chief executioner, who was in the service of the king of Babylonia, came to Jerusalem. He burned the temple of Yah, the king's palace, and all the buildings of Jerusalem, and every great house he burned in fire. And all the walls of Jerusalem all around, the entire Chaldean army that was with the chief executioner smashed. And some of the poor people, the remainder of the people who were left in the city, the defectors who had surrendered to the king of Babylonia, and the rest of the masses, Nebuzaradan, the chief executioner, sent into exile. But the chief executioner left some of the poor people of the land to be workers in vineyards and in fields. The copper pillars of the temple of Yah and the laver stands and the copper sea that were in the temple of Yah, the Chaldeans shattered and carried off their copper to Babylonia. The pots, the shovels, the musical instruments, the bowls, the spoons, and all the copper utensils with which the Kohanim served, the Chaldeans took away. The basins, the pans, the bowls, the pots, the candelabra, the spoons, and the table rods, whether of gold or of silver, the chief executioner took away. The 2 pillars, the 1 sea, the 12 copper oxen that were near the lampstands that King Solomon had made for the temple of Yah. There was no weight with which to measure the copper of all these items. This is a description of the pillars. 18 cubits the height of one pillar. A 12-cubit line would encircle it, its thickness 4 finger breadths, and it was hollow. A copper capital upon it. The height of the single capital 5 cubits, and the netting and the pomegranate and pomegranate figures upon the capital all around. All of copper, the same ornaments for the second pillar, with pomegranates. There were 96 pomegranates facing outside. Altogether there were 100 pomegranates all around the netting. The chief executioner took Sariah, the chief Kohen, and Zephaniah, the deputy Kohen, and the 3 gatekeepers. From the city he took 1 officer who was in charge of the men of war, 7 men from those advisors who see the king's face, who were found in the city, the secretary of the general of the army, who would marshal the common people for war, and 60 men of the common people who were found inside the city. Nebuzaradan, the chief executioner, took them and brought them to the king of Babylonia at Riblah. And the king of Babylonia struck them down and killed them at Riblah, in the land of Hamath, and Judah was exiled from his land. This is the people whom Nebuchadrezzar exiled in the seventh year, 3,023 Jews. In Nebuchadrezzar's 18th year, from Jerusalem, 832 souls. And in Nebuchadrezzar's 23rd year, Nebuzaradan, the chief executioner, exiled 745 Jewish souls, altogether 4,600 souls. It happened in the 37th year of the exile of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, in the 12th month, on the 25th of the month. Evil Merodach, the king of Babylonia, in the year of his coronation, elevated Jehoiakim, king of Judah, and released him from prison. He spoke kindly with him and set his seat above the seats of other kings who were with him in Babylonia. He changed from his prison clothing, and he ate his meal before him regularly all the days of his life. His allowance was a regular allowance given to him from the king, each day's portion on his day, until the day of his death, all the days of his life. Dundada. That thing took long as hell, y'all. Hey, Menelik,
Yo.
Yo, yo, if y'all ain't got nothing to talk about with this book or whatever we read over, oh yeah, I got something I want you to read for me in Hebrew. It's
All right, what is
Psalm
it at?
Psalm 74:14. Cause I
All right.
got dude that believe in the New Testament. He basically said something in Baruch, and also in Psalm 74:14, where it say he's implying that we're gonna eat, like the righteous Israelites in the wilderness are gonna eat what's called Leviathan, the serpent. I just want to see what it says in Hebrew.
Yeah, Con, give me 1 second. Let me grab my, where the heck is my charger? I'm on 3%.
But yeah, because from what I know, Leviathans are serpent, and we're not supposed to eat serpents. But he's saying that because Leviathan lives in the waters, that we can eat them or some shit like that. Uh, uh yeah, nah, I don't know. I'm trying to see what it's saying in the language. 'Cause I seen some translations say Leviathan will be food for the creatures in the wilderness.
Con. Where you trying to go? Psalms
Not
14.
74:14.
Okay, okay, okay. My bad. All right. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. All right, I'm gonna just start at 12, just cause. Vi Elohim for God, Malachi is my king. Mikedem of like old, Poel, like serving or working for. Yeshuot, salvation. Bekrev, within the midst of Haaretz, the earth. Ata for Rata, you split up or like divided. Be'azecha, Yam, divided the strength, divide the strength by the sea. Shibarta Rashe, you break like their heads. Tanaim, of like dragons. Al Hamaim, in the water, dragons of the water. Ata Ritz Tazatsa, you like, hold on, let me see what this word is. Let me pull up this word real quick. Ritzatsa, crushed to like pieces. Uh, Reshi Livayatan, Taptena, Ata Ritzatsa, Reshi Livayatan, Taptena, Ma'achal, Le'am Lezi, gave him to be meat in the wilderness. So it's like you break the heads of like the Leviathan into like pieces and gave it, that word is meat, to the people inhabiting the wilderness. Atavakata Mayan Halata. This ain't got nothing to do with it. All right, so let's go into Lawayatan. Lawayatan. What is that? Let me pull it up. All right, H3882. A dragon, a sea monster, perhaps a dinosaur. Some think it may be a crocodile, but from Job 41, this is. would appear to be like absurd. It appears to be a large breeding animal of some sort, just as like has an explosion producing mechanism. So the great sea dragon may have an explosion producing mechanism to enable it to be a fire breathing dragon. So it comes from H3687, a reef animal that is a serpent or a crocodile or a large like sea animal. Let me see. To be meat, leam, leam, that's nation, makal, and eatable, provide including provender, flesh, and fruit, baked meat, like baked meats. Shit, maybe they are going to eat. Maybe they are going to eat. But other than that, it can be taken like higher terms to not take away from what like it literally said. But like you see, like the next verse is like Ata bakata mayan banakal Ata ho vashta naharot etan. Like you have like a fountain and a flood. You dry up naharot, like rivers and valleys, mighty rivers and valleys. Hold on, let me see if there's something else in here. That, like, hey, what was the other one?
Oh no, that was it, because he was trying to say in something in Baruch was saying that the righteous Israelites were going to be fed Leviathan in the wilderness, which I don't see nothing in Ezekiel about the wilderness, us eating Godzilla or whatever.
All right, let me try it again one more time. Let's see. Velohim Malachim Mikidem Oel Yeshuot Becherev Haaretz. You're the king of old, my salvation in the midst of the earth. Ata Furata Ve'atzecha Yam Shibata Reshi Tanaim Al Hamayim. You divide waters by your strength. Of the sea you break their heads. Of the dragons in the waters. Ata Ritzatzat Reshi. You break the heads of Leviathan. Tatena into pieces. Ma'echal Le'am. And gave it to like be like meat to the people in the inhabiting the wilderness. Letzim. It's like Letzim. Hmm. All right, so this word here that they're translating as like wilderness, H6728, Letzim. So it's like of Leviathan you gave it Tatena in pieces, Machakal to be meat, Le'am to the people, Letzim. Like they say, like that's like wilderness, but it actually says a wild beast, desert dweller, a crier, a yelper, a specific wild beast, but not certainly identified. From the same as a desert dweller that is a nomad or a wild beasts of the desert that dwell in inhabiting in the wilderness. And it comes from 86723. Let's see what that is. It won't even let me click on it. Okay, let's yeah, desert dweller that is a nomad or a wild beast. So it says Ata, you, Ritzazi, you break, Reshit, the heads of Leviathan, Tatena, into like pieces. You gave it as Ma'achal, like meat, Le'am, to the people, Let Zi'im. like like to like other beasts. And then it says Ata vakata mayan vanachal. Ata. You like did cleave and you have like a fountain and like a great like river. Ata, you hovashta nacherot, you dry up rivers, mighty rivers. Etan lecha yom af lecha leila. So like the day, the night. Ata hakinota maor. You also like have created like the light. Va shamesh, and that's sunlight. Ata hitzavata kol. Like you have set up all gevulot avets, like the borders or edges of the earth. Kayit is summer, vachoref is winter. Ata you have made, and then it goes into like bad people again. Zekor ziyot, oyev keref, Yahweh ve'am naval. Zakor is like to like recall. Also, ziyot, the enemy, oyev has reproached Yah ve'am naval. Foolish people. Ni'atzut is like blaspheme. Shemecha, like that's like a reputation, like glory, monument. Okay. Yeah, it's not saying it's giving it to like the righteous Israelites. It's like giving it to like wicked Israelites to eat
That's what I said, bro. It don't make sense. For I guarantee that thing's unclean.
that. Come.
Why, why would he feed his people some unclean monstrosity? You know what I'm saying? It don't make no sense. But he tried to tie it into Baruch or Revelation and stuff like that. So he this particular dude he adheres to the Aquarian gospel of John Cena, which is some weird as I guess Gnostic version of John Cena's life, and he's like half dude, half female. Basically, it supports the Revelation 113 Paps thing. Yeah, John Cena. Yeah, I ain't gonna say it, bro. You know how John Cena in the WWE, he wrestling and it kind of looks real, but it's not. And you know he got his belt, he got his crown or whatever, but you know it don't really mean shit because you can't really you get in the ring with an MMA fighter, you get your ass whooped, and you can't really see him too. Yeah, Khan 12 Khan. Yeah, but yeah, yo, that's what I told dude. I'm like, man, he got so many wild doctrines, bro. That like I could see in dude's eyes. He made a YouTube video pertaining to JC and the oneness doctrine, whatever stuff. I could see dude is lost in like I could just see in his eyes like it looked like he literally got psychosis or some shit like that. So yeah, I don't know where people get these doctrines from, bro. I'm not eating no damn snake. Fuck that shit. And Anaya, you missed everything.
Yeah, so like I had some stuff to do. So like,
Yeah, we read the whole thing and we didn't see any John Cena.
you say who?
John Cena.
You talking about the wrestling dude? What you talking about?
You know, John Cena, he said you can't see me and he got his belt and his crown, but it's really like it's really just an act.
Yeah,
Yeah. I ain't see him in JeremiYaH. Got
oh, I
his
see the joke. Okay,
in
yeah,
the
I see
girl.
the joke. Yeah, I see
Yeah.
the joke. But yeah, I mean, if you want me to show you him in Jeremiah, I don't have an issue with that.
No, we just read the whole book of Jeremiah,
Con.
and we just read the whole book of Isaiah.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying if you want me to show you in Jeremiah, it ain't that.
Oh, you want to show him John Cena?
He ain't gonna be in Ezekiel either.
You could call him John Cena, Jesus Christos. It don't matter. I can show you in that Jeremiah.
He's not gonna be in Ezekiel either.
Oh yeah. Um.
Yeah, let's
Yeah, I
make
could
a room.
definitely
Let's go
show.
find
I could definitely show him in Ezekiel too. Like anywhere you want to go, you know,
him. He's
I can show you.
definitely not in Ezekiel.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Hey, so was JC the last sacrifice?
Yeah,
All right, why is the prince doing the sacrifices in Ezekiel? Let's go make a room.
because that's a
Let's
new.
go. Let's go figure. It.
Yeah, so that's the new covenant or the new kingdom, and we see the Zadokites being promised. That's why when we did y'all read Jeremiah 33 today? Yeah, so that's why when you read Jeremiah 33, it say you shall never lack a man to stand on the Davidic throne or one of the priests to offer oblations and sacrifices. Why? Because Exodus 19:5 say he made us a nation of king and priest, and God will never break his covenant. And we see, you know, the
So
Melchizedek priest
where are the Melchizedek priests in Ezekiel?
in Genesis chapter 15.
I said in Ezekiel.
Oh, in Ezekiel,
They not
uh,
there.
that's what you're seeing. You're seeing a prince being a priest and offering sacrifices for the people.
Also, the priest is a Levite.
You see the Zadokites there in Ezekiel 40 through 48.
So yeah, let's make another. I'll make another room real quick. This should be fun. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, so pretty much that new kingdom, Ezekiel 40 through 48. I believe that's the new temple. You know, Christ will be ruling with a rod of iron. And then you got the prince making sacrifices and the Levitical priest making oblations and offerings.
All right, so we're gonna shut this one down. I think you opened a different room. Shalom.